Chapter 3065. This was not something that could be stopped by just one or two people. Although the old emperor was very powerful, he could not stop the cultivators of the myriad races, the extraterritorial races, and other foreign forces. Moreover, it was rumored that there were a few ancestors of the myriad races who had become emperors in the primordial age who were still alive. Time had not erased those old farts. Moreover, those old farts were also spying on the secrets of the 9 states. If a war really broke out, if those old farts made a move, it would definitely be disastrous for the 9 states. Who in the 9 states could fight against them? In Lin Feng's impression, perhaps only his master could fight against those old farts. However, his master, Lord Turtle, was only one person. The Red World Fairy, the Rock King, the Peacock King, the Stone Puppet King, and the others were probably unable to fight against the ancestors of the myriad races. Could the old emperor reach that level? Lin Feng was puzzled because he did not know what the old emperor's cultivation level was. He only knew that the old emperor was abnormally powerful and possessed combat strength that could be said to be heaven-defying. Other than the old emperor, there was also the Savage Senior, who might be able to fight against the ancestors of the myriad races. However, no one knew where the Savage Senior had gone. Moreover, the Savage Senior was not a cultivator of the 9 states. Would he choose to make a move? Therefore, the current situation was extremely grim for the cultivators of the 9 states. The 9 states was like a small boat in a storm. It could be overturned by huge waves at any time. Will that day come soon? Lin Feng could not help but ask. Perhaps it will take some time. They are waiting, the old emperor said. Waiting for what? Lin Feng could not help but ask. Perhaps they are waiting for the arrival of some powerful cultivators, some extremely terrifying ones. The old emperor sighed. Lin Feng could not help but feel a chill in his heart. If that was really the case, it would be too shocking. It seemed that chaos was about to come. I heard that the myriad races had emperors in the primordial age. Lin Feng's voice was somewhat bitter. That was the most fatal. There was no need to mobilize all of them. Only 2 or 3 of them would be able to create an unimaginable deterrence. Yes, the old emperor sighed. The old emperor sighed. The old emperor didn't stay long at Lin Feng's place. He was just passing by. He admired Lin Feng very much, so he came to see Lin Feng. After the old emperor left, Lin Feng felt that he needed to make some preparations. If a war were to break out, the dragon sect would definitely become the target of the 10,000 races, the extraterrestrial races, and other external forces. This was because the dragon sect was now the top force in the ocean domain. We need to move the people of the dragon sect away. We can't continue to stay in the overseas world because this place is isolated and without help. Moreover, there are no top-notch experts overseeing this place. Lin Feng couldn't help muttering to himself. Although his strength had improved greatly, Lin Feng still understood his own situation very well. So what if he could deal with a great emperor now? However, he could only deal with great emperors in the God-Emperor realm. Emperor God was only the first of the 7 great emperors. There was no need to mention how terrifying the great emperors were. Once a war broke out, he would definitely become the target of the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other external forces. When the time came, the other party would send a few great sovereigns over. That would be too terrifying. Who would be able to fight against them? Lin Feng planned to move the cultivator army of the dragon sect to the reincarnation immortal sect. The mountain range outside the reincarnation immortal sect was vast and could temporarily settle the cultivator army of the dragon sect there. If a war were to break out, when the time came, the cultivator army of the dragon sect would be able to work together with the reincarnation immortal sect to fight against the enemy. The cultivator army of the dragon sect, including the family members of the cultivator army, would probably amount to 30 to 40 million people. Moving the cultivator army would naturally be complicated. It was a vast project. Fortunately, Lin Feng had collected a large number of ancient warships. They could be used to move the cultivator army of the dragon sect. Lin Feng discussed the feasibility of this matter with the Demon Lord. The Demon Lord also felt that they should move the cultivator army, and it had to be done quickly. During this period of time, the cultivators of the 10,000 races, extraterrestrial races, and other external forces were preparing for the final war. They had no time to care about Lin Feng's dragon sect. This was the best time to make a move. If they were to wait for the three forces to finish gathering, by then, the cultivator army of the dragon sect might be targeted if they were to move. At that time, they might be directly destroyed. This kind of thing was very likely to happen. However, it was different now. The focus of the three forces was not on the dragon sect. Even if some people were targeting the dragon sect, it would not be difficult for them to destroy these people with the huge strength of the dragon sect. Since he had made a decision, Lin Feng gathered the upper echelons of the dragon sect and gave the order to move. As for the sea areas controlled by the dragon sect, they could temporarily abandon them. What they were facing now was not personal gains and losses. It was the rise and fall of the 9 provinces. The 9 provinces would fall. The dragon sect would definitely be destroyed. If they could protect the 9 provinces and defeat the 10,000 races, extraterrestrial races, and other external forces, they would chase these people out of the 9 provinces. Then, the dragon sect could then kill their way back. The territory that originally belonged to the dragon sect would still belong to the dragon sect. Moreover, at that time, many forces would be destroyed and the dragon sect could take over more territory. Lin Feng sent someone to inform Princess Shueli. The deep-sea demons that Princess Shueli belonged to lived in their ancestral land, so it was relatively safe. It was not easy for the 10,000 races, extraterrestrial races, and other external forces to find the ancestral land of Princess Shueli's clan. Lin Feng warned Princess Shueli to restrain her clansmen before the chaos in the 9 provinces was quelled. Princess Shueli naturally knew what was happening in the outside world. She came to see Lin Feng with Naza. After seeing Lin Feng, Princess Shueli and Naza hugged Lin Feng. They originally wanted to follow Lin Feng back to the reincarnation immortal sect. However, Lin Feng did not agree to their request. The war was imminent. Lin Feng did not want them to take the risk with him. You must survive. Sister Naza and I will wait for your return. Princess Shueli looked at Lin Feng with deep affection and worry. Big brother Feng, we will wait for you, Naza said. She was very reluctant to part with Lin Feng. Don't worry, I will survive. Lin Feng smiled warmly. Then, he sent someone to send Princess Shueli and Naza back to the ancestral land of the deep-sea demons. The dragon sect's cultivator army and their families had also finished gathering. Huge ancient warships. A total of 3,000 ancient warships set off together. Then, they passed through the space-time wormhole and headed for the reincarnation immortal sect. Such a huge commotion could not be hidden from the other forces. The 10,000 races, extraterrestrial races, and other external forces also received the news. Chapter 3066. The Great Emperor overseeing the southern celestial continent was an expert from the Golden Snake clan. The Golden Snake clan was one of the royal clans of the myriad races and was a famous ancient clan. After receiving news of the dragon sect's ancient warships entering the space-time wormhole, the Great Emperor of the Golden Snake clan's cold eyes were filled with killing intent. With such a large fleet moving, it seems like the dragon sect wants to leave the southern desolate sea region. This Lin Feng really has foresight. I'm afraid he has already guessed that the myriad races, the extraterrestrial races, and other external forces are going to attack the 9 continents. That's why he left in advance. However, do you think you can leave just because you want to? The Great Emperor of the Golden Snake clan then ordered. Pass down the order immediately. Gather the army and kill Lin Feng. My lord, Lin Feng can fight against a great emperor. Moreover, the dragon sect's cultivator army has many elites with excellent weapons and equipment. We can only gather 500,000 soldiers. I'm afraid we can't fight against the dragon sect's cultivator army. A myriad races cultivator said. Humph. The great emperor of the Golden Snake clan snorted and said, Do you think I can't deal with Lin Feng? As long as we kill Lin Feng, the dragon sect's cultivator army will be defeated without a fight. By then, they will be utterly defeated. The myriad races cultivator hurriedly said, Of course, I don't dare to think so. Although Lin Feng's combat strength is extraordinary, he's still miles away from my lord. The great emperor of the Golden Snake clan nodded in satisfaction after hearing that. He liked to hear these flattering words. Therefore, He was extremely satisfied after hearing those words. The trace of unhappiness in his heart disappeared. Go, gather the army. We'll kill Lin Feng halfway. The great emperor of the Golden Snake clan said, Yes, my lord. The myriad races cultivator hurriedly responded and left quickly. Soon, the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan gathered the army. Then, he led the army to kill Lin Feng. Rumble, rumble. The space-time wormhole shook the heavens. Ancient warships crushed the space-time wormhole's void as they flew at high speed. My lord, dozens of warships have appeared in front of us, blocking our way. At this moment, a cultivator came to report. Lin Feng said indifferently, You're simply courting death. The ancient starship Xianyuan immediately sped up. He quickly rushed to the front. Then the fleet stopped. Who's in such a hurry to come out and die? Hurry up and come out. Lin Feng walked out of the ancient starship Xianyuan and sneered. I've long heard that you're arrogant and haughty. Now that I've seen it for myself, I can see that it's true. However, do you think that you can deal with me just because you killed that foreign creature created by the soul reconstruction technique? If that's what you think, then you're an idiot. The great emperor of the Golden Snake clan walked out of the cabin and sneered. Isn't it said that the Southern Immortal Prefecture has several great emperors from the myriad races? Now that you've come alone, you're simply courting death. Lin Feng couldn't help but say indifferently. Hearing Lin Feng's contempt for him, the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan couldn't help but be furious. A puny boundary emperor actually dared to be so presumptuous in front of him. He must be tired of living. The great emperor of the Golden Snake clan sneered. There's no need for the other great emperors to come together. I can deal with you alone. Lin Feng pursed his lips and said, I'm afraid it's because the other great emperors have already left the Southern Immortal Prefecture, right? You're the only one left to guard the Southern Immortal Prefecture. It seems like your status isn't very high. The myriad races, the extraterritorial races, and the higher-ups of other foreign forces are plotting something big. You don't even have the qualifications to participate, yet you still dare to boast shamelessly here. Don't you think it's ridiculous? You're about to die, yet you still dare to provoke me. I think you're the idiot. The great emperor of the Golden Snake clan looked coldly at Lin Feng. About to die? Are you talking about yourself? Do you dare to come out and fight with me? Watch how I take your life later. The origin energy in your body is not bad. After I kill you, I plan to use your origin energy to stew a pot of soup and then share it with the cultivators of the dragon sect. I'll let them have a taste of the great emperor's origin energy. Lin Feng still looked calm as he spoke. Sect Master is mighty. Sect Master is invincible. The cultivators of the dragon sect had unconditional trust in Lin Feng. When they heard that Lin Feng had actually taken the initiative to challenge the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan, they believed that Lin Feng definitely had the strength to kill the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan. When they heard that Lin Feng wanted to share the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan's origin energy with them, the cultivators of the dragon sect immediately roared in excitement. Those who hated Lin Feng might think that Lin Feng was too arrogant and really made them gnash their teeth in hatred. However, in the eyes of the cultivators of the dragon sect, Lin Feng was really domineering. You're the one who's courting death. The great emperor of the Golden Snake clan sneered when he heard that Lin Feng had taken the initiative to challenge him. Lin Feng's action. It was exactly what the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan wanted. Because there were many cultivators of the dragon sect, it was hard to say what the outcome would be if they really fought. If Lin Feng borrowed the power of the dragon sect's cultivators, the great emperor might not be able to do anything to him. The great emperor of the Golden Snake clan was still thinking about how to get Lin Feng to agree to a battle with him. However, the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan did not expect that Lin Feng would actually take the initiative to challenge him. The great emperor of the Golden Snake clan flew out and walked towards Lin Feng step by step. His body exuded an extremely terrifying aura. A powerful emperor's aura spread out, making people feel suffocated. Lin Feng also flew out from the ancient starship Xianyuan. He was still calm and unhurried. Our Lord stepped into the God-Emperor realm 30,000 years ago. This Lin Feng actually dares to challenge our Lord. He's simply courting death. There will be a good show to watch later. I wonder how our Lord will kill him. I'm really looking forward to seeing this scene. Yes, so many people wanted to kill Lin Feng but failed. In the end, he died in our Lord's hands. How satisfying. Lin Feng's death is a huge blow to the 9 prefectures. When the time comes, if Lin Feng is no longer around, it will save us a lot of trouble. I wonder if you'll be able to kill him within 10 moves, my lord? Let's wait and see. The cultivators of the myriad races, extraterritorial races, and other external forces began to discuss. In their opinion, Lin Feng was not a match for the Great Emperor of the Golden Snake Clan because the Great Emperor of the Golden Snake Clan was at least a 5th Heavenly Layer God Emperor. Although Lin Feng was strong, they estimated that he could at most contend against a 1st or 2nd Heavenly Layer God Emperor. Against a powerful existence like the Great Emperor of the Golden Snake Clan. When the time came, only death would await him. Die, brat. The Great Emperor of the Golden Snake Clan coldly stared at Lin Feng. He opened his hand and slapped towards Lin Feng. A huge energy palm condensed in the void and enveloped Lin Feng. The Great Emperor of the Golden Snake Clan wanted to kill Lin Feng in the void. Chapter 3067. Today, I'll let you know what I'm capable of. Lin Feng couldn't help but sneer in the face of the attack from the Golden Snake Clan's Great Emperor. He threw a punch at the Golden Snake Clan's Great Emperor. That terrifying punch contained a shockwave that could destroy heaven and earth. It was as if it could shatter heaven and earth, shatter the sun and moon. Its power was terrifying. Bang! Lin Feng's punch directly broke the energy palm formed by the Golden Snake Clan's Great Emperor. Then, Lin Feng rushed towards the Golden Snake Clan's Great Emperor. He then used the Dragon Elephant Arm to attack the Golden Snake Clan's Great Emperor. However, the Golden Snake Clan's Great Emperor had no intention of fighting Lin Feng in close combat. Perhaps the Golden Snake Clan's Great Emperor had heard that Lin Feng's physical body was extremely strong, so he chose to retreat quickly in the face of Lin Feng's attack. 8 snake steps. The Golden Snake Clan's Great Emperor couldn't help but shout. Then, his body changed continuously. After images appeared one after another. The Golden Snake Clan's Great Emperor's speed was unimaginably fast. After a few consecutive transformations, he had already moved to another place. Thus, he successfully dodged Lin Feng's attack. Great Sun Demon Buddha. Suddenly, the Golden Snake Clan's Great Emperor let out a long roar. Then, he performed another powerful divine ability. This divine ability was even more terrifying. This was a divine ability that cultivated both Devil and Buddha. After this divine ability was performed, a shadow appeared behind the Golden Snake Clan's Great Emperor. The left half of this shadow was an ancient Buddha. The right half of the body was that of a giant demon. On one side, Buddhist light illuminated heaven and earth. On the other side, demonic aura surged and covered the sky. Behind this illusory figure, a great sun slowly rose into the sky. This was definitely a terrifying divine ability that could shock heaven and earth. After it was performed, one couldn't help but be shocked. Many people's souls trembled when they felt this aura. What a terrifying divine ability. My Lord's divine ability is truly vast and boundless. Let's see how Lin Feng dies. Ha 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 ha. Let's wait for a good show. I'm looking forward to the moment when Lin Feng is killed. The cultivators from the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other external forces began to discuss the matter. Everyone had a smile on their faces. In their eyes, the Great Emperor of the Golden Snake Clan was invincible. How could Lin Feng compete with the Great Emperor of the Golden Snake Clan? Lin Feng was shocked to see the Golden Snake Great Emperor's divine ability. It was definitely a terrifying divine ability. However, although this divine ability was powerful, it was not placed in Lin Feng's eyes. Back then, Lin Dufeng was able to kill the foreign creatures. Even though the foreign living beings created by the soul reconstruction technique were only at the standard of the 1st or 2nd stage of the God Emperor realm. However, the current Lin Feng could not be mentioned in the same breath. At that time, Lin Feng's realm was still at the 18th step. Now, Lin Feng's realm had risen to the 50th step. At that moment, Lin Feng's cultivation level had increased by 32 small steps. His fighting abilities had increased tremendously. Lin Feng quickly made a series of hand seals. flowers bloom with a thought. The sovereign descends upon the world. A low voice suddenly sounded. Lin Feng displayed the demon lord's inheritance. As this divine ability was displayed, Lin Feng's body exuded a supreme domineering aura. He seemed to have transformed into an immortal ruler, looking down at the heavens. Behind Lin Feng, a terrifying existence vaguely appeared. That existence seemed to be the immortal king of sovereigns. The appearance of that being actually caused the half-Buddha-like being behind the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan to tremble in fear. Boom! Accompanied by a destructive aura, the terrifying existence behind Lin Feng surged out. That terrifying existence immediately flew out. Then, it quickly flew towards the other party. That existence was too powerful. Its aura was immortal. Immortal. Bang! Along with the sound of the violent collision, a loud bang was heard. The terrifying existence condensed behind Lin Feng collided with the Buddha-like existence condensed by the Golden Serpent Grand Emperor. Suddenly, the Buddha-like existence's body began to crack. The existence condensed by Lin Feng was simply too powerful. Although the divine ability condensed by the Golden Serpent Grand Emperor was extremely powerful, it was still a little lacking compared to Lin Feng's divine ability. Lin Feng's flowers bloom with a thought. The sovereign descends upon the world was created by a demon lord level powerhouse. And it was not an ordinary demon lord's divine ability. It was a divine ability created by a demon lord in his lifetime. From this, one could see how terrifying this divine ability was. Perhaps it could be compared to the 6 paths of reincarnation. Such a powerful divine ability was simply earth-shattering. After the Golden Serpent Grand Emperor's divine ability was broken, the terrifying existence condensed by Lin Feng continued to rush towards the Golden Serpent Grand Emperor. Look, the terrifying existence arrived in front of the great emperor of the Gold Snake clan, burning coal and attacking the great emperor of the Gold Snake clan. The Golden Serpent Grand Emperor clearly did not expect this to happen. The Emperor War had only happened a few months ago. How did Lin Feng's battle strength increase so quickly? This was something that the Golden Serpent Grand Emperor could not understand. How did Lin Feng's cultivation increase? The Golden Serpent Grand Emperor's magic power continuously surged out. Then, he hugged the moon with both hands and performed the moon-embracing seal. The bright moon seemed to be able to shatter the world. Its power was extremely terrifying. It was simply terrifying and shocking. However, this divine ability still could not be compared to Lin Feng's flowers bloom with a thought. The sovereign descends upon the world. The powerful existence condensed by Lin Feng instantly destroyed the moon-embracing seal formed by the Golden Serpent Grand Emperor. Then, it blasted the Golden Serpent Grand Emperor's body. The Golden Serpent Grand Emperor was sent flying. His face was as white as paper. How is this possible? The cultivators of the myriad races, extraterritorial races, and other external forces all looked at Lin Feng in disbelief. They had originally thought that Lin Feng would be killed by the Golden Serpent Grand Emperor. Who would have thought that the outcome would be like this? After the two sides exchanged blows, Lin Feng was completely fine, but the Golden Serpent Grand Emperor was injured. Previously, many people had heard that Lin Feng had used all kinds of methods to kill the extraterritorial beings. He had even used 6 supreme treasures. However, the extraterritorial being's battle strength was far inferior to the Golden Serpent Grand Emperor's. However, Lin Feng did not use any treasures during the battle with the Golden Serpent Grand Emperor. The most unbelievable thing was that Lin Feng had actually injured the Golden Serpent Grand Emperor. The Dragon Sect cultivators were unusually excited when they saw this. Is this your strength? If this is all you have, then it's too disappointing. Lin Feng walked towards the Golden Serpent Grand Emperor. Then, he threw a punch at the Golden Serpent Grand Emperor. At this moment, Lin Feng seemed to have transformed into an unparalleled demon god. Chapter 3068. Thunk, thunk. The surrounding cultivators couldn't withstand the terrifying aura emanating from Lin Feng's body, and all of them knelt on the ground. Everyone's heart couldn't help but surge with a deep sense of shock. When facing Lin Feng, they felt as if they were facing the ruler of heaven and earth. Lin Feng seemed to have become the center of this world. Everything between heaven and earth seemed to have disappeared. Only Lin Feng was left. He was so powerful, so terrifying, so noble, and so sacred that it shocked everyone. Lin Feng's terrifying punch directly shattered the void. This was the demon ancestor's sacred fist that was passed down from another demon lord. It was also an unparalleled divine ability from ancient times to modern times. The Golden Snake Clan's great emperor hurriedly punched out to block Lin Feng's attack. The two sides collided again, and the Golden Snake Clan's great emperor was immediately sent flying. Crack! Crack! The Golden Snake Clan's great emperor's arm was broken, and he was sent flying by Lin Feng. Barf! Next, the Golden Snake Clan's great emperor couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. His face turned even paler. You win. The Golden Snake Clan's great emperor's expression darkened. He turned around and fled into the distance. He lost to Lin Feng, and the 500,000 troops he brought with him were far inferior to the Dragon Sect's cultivator army. The Golden Snake Clan's great emperor couldn't rely on his army to turn the tide of the battle. Therefore, the Golden Snake Clan's great emperor chose to flee immediately. Where there's life, there's life. There's no fear of running out of firewood. As long as he could escape, he would have a chance to take revenge. Even the great emperor fled. Let's hurry up and run. Many cultivators cried out in horror when they saw the Golden Snake Clan's great emperor fleeing. The cultivator army formed by the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces immediately lost their morale. Many cultivators abandoned their ships and fled. This was because it was faster to escape. Kill them all. Leave no one alive, Lin Feng said coldly. He ignored the ordinary cultivators and chased after the Golden Snake Clan's great emperor. Due to the fact that this battle was taking place within the space-time wormhole, the cultivators from both sides were not the only ones inside the space-time wormhole. There were also many other cultivators who were passing by. They had also taken space-time wormholes to various places. And now, these cultivators were watching the battle from afar. They were especially shocked when they saw Lin Feng chasing after the great emperor of the Golden Snake Clan. That young man is Lin Feng. What? He was Lin Feng? Oh my god. He's really too young. Even the great emperor of the Golden Snake Clan is no match for him. Isn't he too strong? He hasn't broken through to the Emperor realm yet, right? If he breaks through to the Great Emperor realm, how terrifying will he be? If I break through to the Great Emperor realm, I might be able to kill immortal emperors, right? The cultivators who were watching the show couldn't help but discuss spiritedly. This Lin Feng is really handsome. I wonder if he has a woman? She really wanted to become his woman. If I can have a night with Lin Gongzi, I'd be willing to die for it. Some female cultivators also started discussing. They looked at Lin Feng with sparkling eyes. They couldn't wait to throw themselves at him. These cultivators included cultivators from the 9 states, as well as cultivators from other planets, small worlds, medium worlds, and great worlds. They wanted to invade the 9 states and enslave the 10,000 races, extraterritorial races, and other external forces. They were only a part of these forces. There were also many who had no intention of invading the 9 states. Of course, Lin Feng and the others were only targeting the 10,000 races, extraterritorial races, and other external forces who wanted to invade the 9 states. They would also treat the cultivators who were not hostile to the 9 states with friendliness. In the end, Lin Feng caught up to the great emperor of the Golden Snake Clan and engaged in a fierce battle with him. The great emperor of the Golden Snake Clan was already injured and was no match for Lin Feng. Lin Feng took out the demon horde worshipping God painting. Suddenly, an illusory image of a horde of demons worshipping Nuwa appeared in the void. The illusory image descended from the sky and charged toward the great emperor of the Golden Snake Clan. With a loud bang, the great emperor of the Golden Snake Clan was sent flying. Crack, crack. He didn't know how many of his bones were broken. Barf. The great emperor of the Golden Snake Clan spat out a mouthful of blood. His face turned as pale as a sheet. The great emperor of the Golden Snake Clan's combat strength had already dropped significantly. Now that his injuries were getting worse, his combat strength had dropped even more. Lin Feng, are you really going to kill me? I'm a member of the 10,000 races imperial family. Killing me won't do you any good. Why don't we both take a step back? The great emperor of the Golden Snake clan couldn't help but shout. The cultivators who passed through the space-time wormhole were shocked when they heard the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan. They hadn't expected the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan to beg for peace with Lin Feng. The Golden Snake clan was indeed a clan that shouldn't be offended. They held an important position among the 10,000 races. Everyone looked at Lin Feng, wondering if Lin Feng would take a step back as the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan had said. Would he let the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan live? Lin Feng sneered. Now you know how to beg for mercy. Don't you think it's too late? I even dared to kill someone from the Sacred God clan, the #1 clan of the 10,000 races. What's more, your Golden Snake clan isn't even ranked in the top 10. So what if I kill you today? If anyone from the Golden Snake clan comes to avenge you, I'll kill them one by one. If 10 come, I'll kill 10. I'm destined to step on the bones of the great emperors of the 10,000 races, the extraterrestrial races, and other foreign powers to ascend to the great emperor realm. Many people were shocked when they heard Lin Feng's powerful words. Lin Feng was truly a domineering person, stepping on the bones of the 10,000 races, the extraterrestrial races, and other foreign powers to ascend to the great emperor realm. Who in their right mind would dare to say such words? But Lin Feng dared to say it. At this moment, Lin Feng erupted with even more terrifying battle strength. He brought out 5 types of heavenly flames: purple earthcore fire, black flame god incinerating fire, hell netherworld fire, golden dragon divine flames, black flame god devouring fire. The 5 types of heavenly flames condensed into a ball of flame under the burning wrath of the heavens. Boom! Along with the sound of an incomparably violent explosion, the ball of flame that Lin Feng had condensed exploded. The destructive power instantly drowned the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan. Lin Feng, you little bastard. I believe that it won't be long before you follow in my footsteps. When that time comes, you'll die 1,000 times more miserably than me. The great emperor of the Golden Snake clan's resentful voice came from the explosion. Lin Feng rushed into the explosion and saw that half of the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan's body had been blown apart. He had suffered a near-fatal injury. He quickly rushed over and beheaded the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan. Fresh blood spurted out. Chapter 3069. He's dead. The great emperor of the Golden Snake clan has been killed. The great emperor of the Golden Snake clan was at least a 5th firmament divine emperor, but he was killed by Lin Feng just like that. What level is Lin Feng at now? He's just a cultivator of the Di-Chi layer. Maybe Lin Feng is much stronger than we thought. He's really a peerless genius that only appears once in a trillion years. If he doesn't die, he might be able to suppress cultivators at the same level. The cultivators who were passing by began to discuss among themselves. Their hearts were filled with shock. Lin Feng was terrifyingly strong. They had the impression that he was from a legend. Perhaps such a monster would only appear in myths and legends, right? But now, they saw a monster like Lin Feng in reality. Lin Feng returned to the Xinyuan ancient ship after collecting the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan's origin. Seeing the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan killed, the Dragon Sect's cultivator army was filled with vigor. As for the cultivator army formed by the myriad races, extraterritorial races, and other foreign forces, their morale was slack. Those cultivators were in despair. Kill all the cultivators from the myriad races, extraterritorial races, and other foreign forces. Battle cries shook the sky. In the end, the 3 cultivator armies were all killed by the Dragon Sect's cultivator army. None of them managed to escape. Then, the Dragon Sect's fleet quickly left, leaving behind a group of stunned cultivators. Lin Feng kept his promise. He took out the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan's origin and distributed it to everyone. Every battleship received a part of the origin. Then, they boiled meat soup on these battleships. The great emperor's origin was put into the meat soup. Everyone began to drink with relish. Although the great emperor's origin was not much, each battleship did not receive much. However, even a trace of the great emperor's origin had unimaginable benefits for godly realm cultivators. After drinking the meat soup, many of the Dragon Sect's cultivator army broke through directly. Some even broke through several realms consecutively. The dragon sect's cultivator army's combat strength increased greatly. News of the great battle in the space-time wormhole quickly spread. The news of Lin Feng killing the great emperor of the Golden Snake clan quickly spread throughout the 9 regions. This made many people almost unable to believe this rumor. After all, the Golden Snake clan's emperor wasn't an early god emperor. The Golden Snake race's emperor was a mid-level god emperor. He was actually killed by Lin Feng. If Lin Feng had been a great emperor and killed the Golden Snake clan's great emperor, no one would have been too shocked. After all, they were all cultivators of the same realm. Kill him. Wasn't this a very normal thing? But Lin Feng was a cultivator at the standard of the great emperor layer. Is Lin Feng really a quasi-emperor? Do you think it's possible that he's hiding his strength? It was then that some of the cultivators voiced out their doubts. They felt that Lin Feng might be hiding his cultivation level. Lin Feng's lifespan is less than 60 years. How many years has he cultivated? How can he become a great emperor? Following that, some people questioned. They felt that it was impossible for Lin Feng to become a great emperor at such a young age. It was simply unbelievable. What's impossible? Have you forgotten the divine firmament king? Back then, he became a great emperor at the age of 40 and cultivated for 34 years. It's even shorter than Lin Feng's cultivation time. Someone continued. The divine firmament king was an expert from the sacred god race. He was a figure from 18,000 years ago. Compared to his long lifespan, the divine firmament king was still very young. This was definitely an existence that would shock the ages. When he became a great emperor, he shocked all the races in the heavenly sage great world. At that time, many people even compared the divine firmament king to many great existences in history. They felt that the divine firmament king's future achievements might reach an unimaginable level. Even though the divine firmament king had not appeared for nearly 10,000 years, the cultivators of the myriad races couldn't help but think of the divine firmament king. Could it be that this Lin Feng will become the second divine firmament king? Some cultivators of the myriad races sighed. Soon, doubts about whether Lin Feng had become a great emperor quickly spread throughout the 9 prefectures. Many people felt that Lin Feng might have really become a great emperor. Such a young great emperor was naturally shocking. However, this kind of shock was far from being comparable to the shock of a great emperor boundary cultivator killing a mid-level god emperor. More and more cultivators felt that Lin Feng might really be a great emperor realm cultivator. Otherwise, he should not have such heaven-defying combat strength. Even some great emperor realm experts felt that Lin Feng was very likely to be a great emperor. If we want to kill Lin Feng, we have to send out at least high-level god emperors or even immortal emperors. The myriad races, the extraterrestrial races, and other cultivators from the outside world began to discuss ways to kill Lin Feng. The stronger Lin Feng was, the more uneasy they felt. Many people wanted to get rid of Lin Feng as soon as possible. While the outside world was in an uproar because of Lin Feng killing the great emperor of the Golden Snake race, Lin Feng had already led the Dragon Gate army back to the Reincarnation Immortal sect. After returning to the Reincarnation Immortal sect, Lin Feng sent someone to invite the Great Strength Demon God. Then, the Great Strength Demon God opened up many spirit veins in the forest outside the Reincarnation Immortal sect. They built many palaces and immortal mountains. Lin Feng arranged for the Dragon Gate army and their families to stay in the various immortal mountains. After returning to the Reincarnation Immortal sect, Lin Feng's life became much more peaceful. The outside world did not affect Lin Feng's cultivation. He would comprehend the Great Tao every day. If he encountered something he was puzzled about, he would ask Master Turtle. During this period, Lin Feng noticed that Master Turtle's expression was not particularly good. On this day, the master and disciple sat on a barren mountain, looking at the bright moon and drinking wine. Asked Lin Feng, "Master, you don't look well. Could it be that something happened?" Asked Lin Feng. Master Turtle muttered to himself, "Perhaps something terrible is about to happen." What is going to happen? Lin Feng was shocked. Master Turtle did not answer Lin Feng. Instead, he narrowed his eyes and looked into the distance. "Tell everyone not to go out at night." "Yes," Lin Feng replied. The next day, Lin Feng issued an order that forbade anyone from leaving the sect at night. I need to make a trip to the 9 Hells Purgatory. One day, Lord Tortoise said, Master, what are you going to do there? Lin Feng asked curiously. I need to retrieve something. Master Turtle said. What is it? Lin Feng asked. You'll know once you retrieve it. Master Turtle said. Lin Feng followed Master Turtle to the Reincarnation Valley and entered the Reincarnation Pagoda. What a rare guest. Old Monster Emo looked at Lin Feng and Master Turtle with a sinister gaze. Chapter 3070. Back then, Lin Feng had entered the 9 Hells Purgatory on Lord Turtle's behalf. The 9 Serenities Purgatory was a very special place. The physical body could not reach this place. Only the soul could enter the 9 Serenities Purgatory. The 9 Hells Purgatory was extremely harmful to the soul. Souls that entered the 9 Hells Purgatory would suffer endless torment. Lin Feng's previous experience was still vivid in his mind. Even after so many years had passed, Lin Feng still hadn't forgotten. If possible, he didn't want to enter the 9 Hells Purgatory ever again. I want to enter the 9 Hells Purgatory. Master Tortoise looked at old Monster Emo. Eccentric Emo was greatly shocked and said, Enter that place? You have to think clearly. This is an extremely dangerous place. Why don't you let this brat help you in? Lin Feng could not help but roll his eyes. This old Monster Emo really knows how to come up with some weird ideas. It seemed that this guy didn't know how dangerous and painful it was to enter the 9 Hells Purgatory. That place is too dangerous. He's just throwing his life away if he goes in. This time, I'll take the risk and enter. Lord Tortoise said. Lin Feng was very shocked in his heart, because even he didn't know what level of fighting strength Master Tortoise had. Now, Lord Tortoise was very secretive about where he was going. It was obvious how dangerous that place was. Moreover, Lord Tortoise had already said that he was going to the 9 Hells Purgatory to retrieve something. Things from the 9 Hells Purgatory couldn't be brought out. Of course, if he wanted to forcibly take something out of the 9 Hells Purgatory, he would be able to do so. At that time, he might die in the 9 Hells Purgatory. However, if one had sufficient strength, then, naturally, he could try to bring the items out of 9 Hells Purgatory. As long as he could withstand the attack of the laws of 9 Hells Purgatory, he might succeed. Old Monster Emo said, Since you've already made your decision, I won't continue to persuade you. Be careful. Lord Tortoise nodded and sat down cross-legged. In Lin Feng's impression, Master Tortoise had always been an optimist. There was no time for him to worry. But during this time, Lord Turtle often frowned. Clearly, Lord Turtle had a premonition of something. Lin Feng had asked Lord Turtle about it before. However, Lord Tortoise did not answer Lin Feng directly. Old Monster Emo opened the passage to the 9 Hells Purgatory. Lord Turtle's nascent spirit left his body and entered 9 Hells Purgatory. Then, Old Monster Emo closed the passage to the 9 Hells Purgatory. Senior, do you know what my master went in to retrieve? Lin Feng asked Old Monster Emo. I don't know. Old Monster Emo replied. He was practically a man of few words. Lin Feng knew that it would be as difficult as ascending to the heavens to obtain any useful information from Old Monster Emo. He then changed the topic and said, I want to see if the cycle of reincarnation will extinguish the fire. Take me to see this heavenly flame. Old Eccentric Emo let out a strange laugh and said, What? Could it be that he had designs on samsara's never extinguish the fire? You should give up on that thought. The owner of this heavenly flame is not dead yet. That existence is too terrifying. If you provoke him, even if you have 10,000 lives, it won't be enough for you to die. Lin Feng said with a smile. I'm just going to take a look. I didn't say anything about refining samsara's never extinguish the fire. If I'm not worried about that, what are you worried about, senior? Old Monster Emo let out a strange laugh and said, I'm just worried about you. It wasn't easy for the Reincarnation Immortal sect to produce such a promising disciple. I don't want to see you die prematurely. Lin Feng could not help but roll his eyes and say, Look at what you're saying. This junior is blessed by the heavens. How can I die prematurely? Old Monster Emo let out a strange laugh and did not say anything else. Lin Feng noticed that Old Monster Emo was hesitating. so he did not ask old Monster Emo to let him see Samsara's never extinguish the fire. 3 days later, Lord Turtle's nascent spirit flew out of 9 Hell's Purgatory. Lord Turtle brought out an item. When Lin Feng saw it, he couldn't help but be surprised. It was an ancient lamp, and on top of that, it was broken into pieces a long time ago. The ancient lamp that Master Tortoise brought out was also broken. "Let's go," Lord Turtle said. Then, he quickly left. Lin Feng followed closely behind Lord Turtle. "Master, what kind of lamp is this?" Lin Feng asked curiously as he looked at the broken lamp in Lord Turtle's hand. "This is actually just a replica. I don't know where the real one is," Lord Turtle said as he looked at the lamp in his hand. Then, he sighed and said, "Moreover, it's just a broken replica. However, it might be enough." Lin Feng felt like his heart was being scratched by 100 claws. Lord Turtle seemed to be talking to himself and did not answer his question at all. Lin Feng asked again, "Master, you said that this ancient lamp is a replica? Then which ancient lamp is this replica made from?" Lord Turtle said, "It's a replica of the 9 Prefectures lamp." When Lord Turtle mentioned the 9 Prefectures lamp, there was clearly something different in his voice. This was not the first time Lin Feng had heard of the 9 Prefectures lamp. When Lin Feng had obtained the Primal Chaos Origin Aura in the past, he had entered the inner world formed by the mysterious ancient door. He had almost gotten lost in it. Then, he saw an ancient lamp lit up, becoming the only source of light in the darkness. That ancient lamp was the 9 Prefectures lamp. The reason Lin Feng had made his treasure into a lamp-shaped treasure was because he had been inspired by the 9 Prefectures lamp. However, in reality, Lin Feng did not know much about the 9 Prefectures lamp. Lin Feng then told Lord Turtle about how he had seen the 9 Prefectures lamp in the past. Lord Turtle said, "This is a chance encounter that can only be chanced upon." Lin Feng understood what Mr. Tortoise meant. Seeing the 9 continents' lanterns was something that couldn't be forced. Lin Feng was very clear about this. This was indeed something that could not be forced. It required luck. "What is the origin of the 9 Prefectures lamp?" Lin Feng asked. He was very curious about the 9 Prefectures lamp because it was simply too mysterious. The 9 Prefectures lamp was even rarer than the Supreme Divine Court, the Door of Everlasting Life, and the Heaven-Shaking Steel. The undying immortal blood once lit up the 9 Prefectures lamp, illuminating the mountains and rivers, Lord Tortoise murmured. His voice suddenly became low and deep. "The 9 Prefectures lamp is very special, and its origin is very mysterious. No one can control it," Lord Turtle said. "This?" Lin Feng was shocked. After hearing Lord Turtle's words, Lin Feng knew that the 9 Prefectures lamp was truly extraordinary. Rumor has it that the 9 Prefectures lamp is the final guardian of the 9 Prefectures. If you want the 9 Prefectures lamp to be destroyed, the 9 Prefectures lamp will not be destroyed. Lord Turtle continued, "The 9 Prefectures lamp will not be destroyed? The 9 Prefectures lamp is just an ordinary great world. It is said that even the 3 paramount realms will be destroyed. Is the 9 Prefectures lamp stronger than the laws of order of the 3 paramount realms?" Chapter 3071. Lord Tortoise couldn't help but say, "The 9 Prefectures are very special, and we shouldn't compare them to the 3 Supremes. The 9 Prefectures have a very special power that protects them, preventing them from being destroyed. Over the countless years, the 9 Prefectures have gone through countless calamities, but they have always been able to survive. Despite the ups and downs, they still remain standing." Lord Tortoise continued. Lin Feng couldn't help but nod. It was indeed as Lord Tortoise had said. The 9 Prefectures had remained standing throughout the long years, and countless planets with life, as well as many great worlds, had been destroyed during the turbulence. This was enough to explain many things. Apart from protecting the 9 Prefectures, what other uses does the 9 Prefectures lantern have? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask curiously. The 9 Prefectures lantern was so extraordinary that he found it unbelievable. The 9 Prefectures lantern was simply too miraculous. Lin Feng felt that the 9 Prefectures lantern might be hiding some shocking secrets, and Lin Feng was also thinking about something else. In the past, Why did the 9 prefectures lantern suddenly appear after he was trapped in that mysterious world? Could it be that the 9 prefectures lantern was related to him in some way? When this thought flashed through his mind, Lin Feng's heart couldn't help but skip a beat. He felt that there might be such a possibility, and if that was really the case, it would be too unbelievable. Lin Feng and Lord Tortoise chatted for a long time. The master and disciple kept talking about the 9 prefectures lantern, and Lin Feng also asked many questions. However, Lord Tortoise didn't directly answer Lin Feng some of the questions. He seemed to be afraid of something and couldn't directly say some things. However, from his conversation with Lord Tortoise, Lin Feng felt that the 9 prefectures lantern was extraordinary. It was definitely an ancient lantern that was filled with countless secrets and amazing abilities. Unfortunately, Lin Feng couldn't study the 9 prefectures lantern any further. Lord Tortoise placed the broken item he had obtained from the 9 underworlds purgatory at the summit of the 9 prefectures. Then, Lord Tortoise started chanting. He chanted the incantation and jumped up and down, just like those ancient priests performing the sacrificial dance during the sacrificial ceremony. Boom! Next, a terrifying aura of power radiated out from the broken ancient lamp. In that instant, Lin Feng felt as though the ruler of the world had awoken from its slumber. The pressure disappeared in a flash. Immediately after, a divine light appeared in the void. That divine light was dazzling and incomparably gorgeous. Then, the divine light spread out rapidly and enveloped the entire reincarnation immortal sect. This sect-protecting godly light should be able to hold on for some time no matter what happens. Master Tortoise said after doing all this. He showed signs of fatigue. What he had just done seemed to have consumed a lot of his energy. Master, what are you worried about? Lin Feng asked. There are some things that I shouldn't have told you at this time, Lord Tortoise said in a low voice. He waved at Lin Feng and asked Lin Feng to support his body. This was the first time that Lin Feng had seen Master Tortoise so tired. Lin Feng hurriedly supported Master Tortoise. He helped Master Tortoise back to his residence. After Master Tortoise sat down, he said, "A few days ago, I was observing the stars at night and had some enlightenment. When night fell, I vaguely heard a sorrowful cry." What sound was that? Lin Feng asked, puzzled. The earth, Master Tortoise said solemnly. Everything in the world has its own life. Even a blade of grass, a grain of sand, a leaf, or a drop of water has its own life. The earth, the ocean, and even the sky of the 9 prefectures have their own lives. It's just that ordinary people can't sense their lives. When danger comes, the world will change. For example, when a flood breaks out, there will be groups of rats running amok. Dense groups of ants will move about. Wild beasts will become irritable and restless, and so on. When the earth wails, I'm afraid that unimaginable danger is coming. In recent days, I felt an even more terrifying aura coming to the 9 prefectures. This feeling makes me very uneasy. An expert at Master Tortoise's level definitely had the ability to sense things on a whim. He was usually able to sense the arrival of danger. Therefore, Master Tortoise had become a little different from before. Previously, when he faced experts like the Supreme One and the emperors of the 10,000 tribes, Master Tortoise remained calm. However, this time, Master Tortoise was different. However, it was different this time. If it was as Lord Tortoise had said, then the situation would be different. The existence that was about to descend upon the 9 prefectures could be a peerless and terrifying existence. Is there anything I can do? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. What you need to do is to restrain the disciples. Especially recently, there have been so many disciples in the reincarnation immortal sect. You need to restrain them. Otherwise, there might be trouble. Master Tortoise said. Lin Feng nodded. 3 days later, at night, on this day, lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. Dark clouds rolled. The dark clouds in the sky were about to fall to the ground. Heavy, oppressive, and suffocating. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled in the dark clouds. Streaks of lightning dragons swam within it. The scene in front of them was really appalling. It was as if doomsday had arrived. Anyone who saw the scene in front of them would be terrified. Lin Feng couldn't help but frown when he saw the weather outside. It was too abnormal today. He walked out of his residence. At this time, Master Tortoise hurried out. Go back. No matter what happens, don't come out. Master Tortoise warned loudly. Lin Feng saw Master Tortoise so nervous for the first time. What had happened to make Master Tortoise so nervous? Lin Feng felt that his lips were dry. He felt that something big was about to happen. He wanted to help Master Tortoise, but Lin Feng knew that he couldn't help now. This made Lin Feng feel helpless. Strength. At this moment, Lin Feng wanted to improve his strength as soon as possible. Although many people thought that he was strong enough, only Lin Feng knew he was far from being strong enough. Master, be careful, Lin Feng said worriedly. He then returned to his residence. Master Tortoise rushed out of the Reincarnation Immortal Sect in the rain. Outside the Reincarnation Immortal Sect, the black fog that was so thick that it could not be dispersed started to churn violently. A terrifying aura emanated from the black fog. Sensing the terrifying aura, Yi Zichen was shocked. Master Tortoise furrowed his brows. The world outside the Reincarnation Immortal Sect turned into a world of darkness. In the darkness, there seemed to be a terrifying existence. Swoosh! Master Tortoise gritted his teeth. Then, he rushed into the darkness. Rumble! Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. Thick bolts of lightning struck down and lit up the endless darkness. Chapter 3072. In the room, Lin Feng paced back and forth anxiously. His expression was solemn because the situation in front of him seemed to be very bad. However, he could only wait patiently. That night, lightning flashed, thunder rumbled, and rain poured down. To many people, it was just a night of storms. However, to Lin Feng, it was a night of torment. He did not know how much time had passed. Lin Feng finally sensed Master Tortoise's aura. Master Tortoise seemed to have returned from outside. He quickly left the room and went to the hall where Master Tortoise lived. Lin Feng saw Master Tortoise resting on a pillar. At this moment, Master Tortoise's face was pale and his body was trembling slightly. Obviously, the situation was very bad. Seeing Master Tortoise in this state, Lin Feng could not help but feel worried. This was the first time Lin Feng saw Master Tortoise injured. He quickly ran over and took out some healing elixirs and handed them to Master Tortoise. I don't need these. Master Tortoise shook his head. He closed his eyes and regulated his breathing. Lin Feng did not dare to disturb Master Tortoise, so he stood by his side to protect him. 4 hours later, Master Tortoise's pale face regained some color. Master, what happened? How did you get injured? Lin Feng asked. He felt that the situation today was very strange. Perhaps some terrifying existence had arrived outside the Reincarnation Immortal Sect. It's temporarily over. It's temporarily over. Don't tell anyone about what happened today. Master Tortoise did not answer Lin Feng's question. Instead, he warned him. Lin Feng wanted to know what happened, but he knew that Master Tortoise did not tell him for his own good. Lin Feng knew Master Tortoise's temperament very well. Although Master Tortoise did not seem to be a very good person, he was very independent. But in fact, Shangwei was a very opinionated person. If he didn't want to talk about something, no one could get any useful information from him. The black fog outside had dispersed, and the weather was gradually becoming clear. When the dark clouds dispersed, a rainbow appeared after the rain. Many people walked out and looked at the beautiful rainbow in the distance. They were talking about it, but only Lin Feng knew what kind of terrifying thing had happened yesterday. Demon Lord, what kind of creature do you think came to the Reincarnation Immortal Sect yesterday? Even my master was injured, Lin Feng said. The shock that Lin Feng felt when Master Tortoise insta-killed his honor back then was something that he would never be able to forget. Lord Tortoise has lived for too long. Furthermore, Lord Tortoise is a black tortoise, azure dragon, vermilion bird, white tiger, brilliant serpent, black tortoise. These were the 5 great saint beasts. They possessed the most terrifying bloodline of holy beasts, comparable to true dragons, phoenixes, and other living beings. He was definitely one of the creatures with the most powerful bloodline in the world. Therefore, Lord Tortoise's talent when he was young was absolutely unimaginable. To put it bluntly, Even a pig could become a peerless expert if it lived as long as Lord Tortoise. What more a black tortoise? Therefore, although Lin Feng couldn't confirm exactly how strong Master Tortoise was, he had an estimate in his heart. However, even with such a powerful strength, he was still injured. It was truly inconceivable. Could it be the primogenitor of the myriad races? The demon lord said. The primogenitor of the myriad races? Lin Feng frowned. Lin Feng naturally knew about the primogenitor of the myriad races. It was said that those undying existences were experts from the primordial era. Who knew what realm they were at now? Lin Feng didn't know how strong they were, but since they could live for so long, their battle prowess must have reached an unimaginable level. Could it be the primogenitor of the myriad races? Lin Feng couldn't help but wonder. It made sense that the intruder was the primogenitor of the myriad races. However, Lin Feng had a feeling that the intruder wasn't the primogenitor of the myriad races. There was no basis for this feeling, but it was extremely strong. What kind of living being is it? He sighed. Lord Tortoise didn't say much about this matter. Therefore, Lin Feng felt as if there were 100 claws scratching his heart. However, he still couldn't find out what kind of living being had appeared yesterday. For a period of time after that, nothing like what happened that night happened again. Lord Tortoise's face once again had that infuriating smile. Master Tortoise seemed to have forgotten what had happened that night. However, Lin Feng still noticed something different. He saw Lord Tortoise alone several times, often in a daze. He didn't know what he was thinking. You can't give up on cultivating the 8-9 arcane art. Lord Tortoise warned Lin Feng. Yes, disciple will remember. Lin Feng replied. Lin Feng's 8-9 arcane art had reached the 3rd level. It wasn't easy to cultivate from the 3rd to the 4th level. It required luck. Lin Feng naturally wanted to finish cultivating the 8-9 arcane art as soon as possible. It was a cultivation technique that could kill him. Once he reached the 3rd level, he would have 30 years to reach the 4th level of the 8-9 mysterious art. If he did not succeed within 30 years, he would not be able to do it. If he didn't succeed in 30 years, his meridians would reverse, his blood would flow backward, and his body would explode. It had been 12 or 13 years since Lin Feng reached the 3rd level of the 8-9 arcane art. Now, Lin Feng still had 17 or 18 years to cultivate the 8-9 arcane art. Unless Lin Feng reached the 5th level of the 8-9 arcane art, he would be able to solve his crisis. Otherwise, the 8-9 arcane art was extremely terrifying. It could kill him at any time. On this day, a piece of news spread throughout the 9 states. It was said that a mysterious island had appeared in the deepest part of the sea in the northwestern part of the 9 states. It was rumored that the island was the long-lost Lulan Island. Countless treasures were buried on Lulan Island. Moreover, Lulan Island was related to the ancient city of Lulan. This caused a huge uproar, because many people had heard of the legends of the ancient city of Lulan. It was rumored. Countless treasures of this era were buried in the ancient city of Lulan. It was also said that there were materials to forge ancient weapons in the ancient city. They could even find materials to forge the Supreme Divine Court and the Door of Everlasting Life. This was too shocking. However, no one knew who had built the ancient city of Lulan. There were several theories about the origin of the ancient city of Lulan. The first theory was that the ancient city of Lulan was created by a race called the Lulan tribe. This Lulan tribe was extremely ancient. It was said that it could be traced back to the birth of the first Khanate life forms. It was said that the first ancestor of the Lulan tribe was from the same era as Nuwa and Pangu. They were the first Khanate life forms to awaken and were extremely powerful. This ancestor of the Lulan tribe had a hobby. He liked to collect all kinds of treasures. Chapter 3073. The second rumor was that Lulan was an ancient city created by the sorcerer race. How powerful was the sorcerer race in the past? The sorcerer race had 12 ancestors of the sorcerer race. These 12 ancestors of the sorcerer race were existences on par with Nuwa and Pangu. Therefore, after the great sorcerer Ho-I was killed, the sorcerer race dared to wage war against the monster race led by Di Jun. After the war, the sorcerer race disappeared without a trace. The sorcerer race was an ancient and powerful race. How many treasures did they collect? It was impossible to imagine how many earth-shattering treasures the sorcerer race had found in their long history. The third rumor was that it was an ancient city passed down by the innate demon race. The innate demon race referred to Demon Emperor Tai and Demon Emperor Dijun. After Demon Emperor Tai's death, Demon Emperor Dijun took over the heavenly court and became a tyrant. In the later years of Monster Sovereign Dijun's life, Monster Sovereign Dijun wantonly collected supreme treasures from the myriad of worlds. However, after Demon Emperor Dijun's death, the treasures he collected throughout his life disappeared without a trace. Many people searched for the treasures Demon Emperor Dijun collected throughout his life, but to no avail. Therefore, many people linked Demon Emperor Dijun's treasures to Lulan's ancient city. Could Lulan's ancient city be built by Demon Emperor Dijun? Then, Demon Emperor Dijun placed all the treasures he collected in Lulan's ancient city? Thinking about it carefully, this seemed to be a possibility. These were the three most widely known legends, and they were also the three most easily accepted legends. Of course, there were many other legends about Lulan's ancient city, but those legends were not as credible as these three legends. Of course, legends were just legends. As for whether these legends were true, no one knew. After all, it was something that happened countless years ago. No one knew what had happened in the past. The ancient legends naturally became a story full of myths and legends. Regardless of which legend was true, there were countless treasures in Lulan's ancient city. Since ancient times, many experts had gone to search for Lulan's ancient city, but to no avail. Now that Lulan Island had appeared, everyone saw the possibility of finding Lulan's ancient city. Previously, Yarao told me that her father received news about Lulan Island and went to look for it. I wonder if he has already entered Lulan Island? Lin Feng fell into deep thought. Come to think of it, Lin Feng had to address the heavenly wind god as his father-in-law now. Of course, if the heavenly god knew that he had taken Feng Yaorao, he wondered if the heavenly wind god would attack him with its spiked club. Feng Yaorao's the demon emperor race? Was the heavenly court heavenly court? Heavenly court's heavenly court, the heavenly court's god. They were all men, but with different identities, they naturally stood from different perspectives. Many cultivators had already headed to the sea region where Lulan Island had appeared. The 9 prefectures is truly a place filled with countless secrets. Needless to say, many places of death have appeared in the 9 prefectures, such as the chaotic ancient nation and the current Lulan Island. An alien cultivator lamented. Continent, S continent. Continent's race, lawn, S's, continents it, theirs. Realm of lands, yin god ofs. Many cultivators from the myriad tribes, extraterrestrial tribes, and other foreign powers were also rushing toward Lulan Island. Time quickly passed by. Large numbers of cultivators had gathered in the northwestern sea. Among these cultivators, there were countless powerful beings. Even Emperor stage cultivators had appeared. The ancient city of Lulan is going to cause an earthquake. Countless people are going to go crazy. That's right. Even the powerful beings of the 3 paramount realms are going to send powerful beings here if they hear about the ancient city of Lulan. That's right. The treasures in the ancient city of Lulan are simply too astonishing. All of the cultivators in the outside world were talking about the ancient city of Lulan. Nothing was more important than the ancient city of Lulan, and many cultivators who were in seclusion had also come out. Lulan Island was connected to the ancient city of Lulan, so no one could continue their seclusion in peace. If they were to enter the ancient city of Lulan, they would only need to take out one item, and that would be enough to defy the heavens. This was an opportunity. Perhaps one could only experience it once in a lifetime. Lin Feng also planned to head to the northwestern sea after receiving this news. Lin Feng brought Du Zhu and the evil Lord Holy Man with him. The 3 of them set off toward the northwestern sea together. Fire Qilin, Fairy Feng, and the others should have reached the ancestral land of the spirit demon tribe by now, right? They should have received this news as well, so they'll probably head to the northwestern sea as well. Du Zhu said. Not long ago, Fire Qilin, Feng Yaorao, and the little Peng King had all left. It was about time that they arrived at the ancestral land of the ancient spirit demon tribe. Feng Yaorao had been very worried about the safety of her father, the heavenly wind god. Now that Lulan Island had appeared, Feng Yaorao was definitely going to head there. She should be going, Lin Feng said. On this day, a top-tier powerful being stepped onto the mountains and rivers of the Kingdom of the Nine States. This was a handsome man with a tall and slender figure, and he was enshrouded in holy light. His appearance immediately attracted the attention of many people. Piss off! A loud roar sounded in the distance. Several dozen cultivators flew over on a series of starry sky chariots. There were countless runes inscribed all over the surface of the starry sky chariots. The Battlestar Tribe. Some cultivators recognized the newcomers. This was an extremely terrifying tribe, and they occupied several massive star realms in the extraterritorial world. This tribe could do whatever they wanted in the extraterritorial world, and no one dared to provoke them. As such, this tribe was extremely arrogant and despotic. This was even more so when they descended upon the Kingdom of the Nine States. Even the imperial families of the myriad tribes didn't dare to provoke them. Hurry up and back off. There's no need to bicker with these lunatics. A cultivator from the myriad tribes said, if it weren't for the fact that I was worried about affecting the unity of the myriad tribes, the extraterritorial world, and the other cultivators from the extraterritorial world, I would have beaten these bastards up a long time ago. Immediately afterward, a cultivator from the heaven and earth great world sneered. Of course, no matter how one looked at it, he was just bragging. These people immediately opened up a path for the Battlestar Tribe cultivator. However, the man enshrouded in holy light acted as if he didn't hear the cold roars of the Battlestar Tribe cultivators. He didn't step aside. Instead, he walked forward step by step. You're courting death. The Battlestar Tribe cultivators were instantly enraged. Crush him to death. A handsome man wearing a Battlestar Tribe battle robe said in a cold voice. Yes, young master. Chapter 3074. These cultivators from the Battlestar race were used to being arrogant and despotic. Hence, they did not have any scruples. There was no one they did not dare to touch. Dodge quickly. Someone reminded that cultivator so that he would not be harmed. At this moment, that cultivator turned around and looked at the space war chariot that was charging towards him. A strange light flashed in his eyes. Following that, the space war chariot turned into ashes. After seeing this scene, everyone's face turned pale with fright. What kind of technique was this? Wasn't it too shocking? It was too inconceivable. It was truly shocking and moving. Who are you? How dare you kill someone from my Battlestar race? Are you tired of living? The young master on the main war chariot had a gloomy expression. Zhan Chun, the grandson of a grand elder of the Battlestar race. He has a very high status, a cultivator said as he recognized the identity of that young master. His grandfather was an Emperor realm expert. He was a direct descendant of the Battlestar race and was about to reach 3,000 years of age. His talent was very strong. He was one of the most outstanding young disciples of the Battlestar race who had the highest chance of entering the Emperor realm. Hence, this Zhan Chun had a very high status in the Battlestar race. Hence, whenever he went out, he would be followed by a large group of people. Scram, the unknown cultivator said with an indifferent expression. He was very domineering. Although it was a simple sentence, it revealed his domineering aura. Even if he was alone, even if the Battlestar race had a lot of people and experts. Furthermore, the Battlestar race was a superpower in the extraterrestrial regions. He was fearless. This young master came to the 9 prefectures because I heard that a person called Lin Feng had appeared in the 9 prefectures. His combat strength is extremely terrifying and can even kill emperors. This young master has yet to kill this Lin Feng. Instead, I have met you, a reckless fool. Zhan Chen's voice was cold. He was very arrogant because he was strong enough. 500 years ago, Zhan Chen was already comparable to an early-stage God-Emperor realm expert. One could see how shocking this Zhan Chen's talent was. Furthermore, he had the Iron Blood War chariot that was passed down from the Battlestar race. This was an ancient treasure that had been passed down since the Archaic era. It was exceptionally powerful and could kill millions and millions of creatures. It was incomparably exceptional. If it wasn't for Zhang Judao, you would have died many times over, the man said coldly. When he mentioned a person, many people couldn't help but gasp. Zhang Judao was one of the most terrifyingly talented individuals in the history of the Battlestar clan. Rumor had it that when Zhang Judao was born, an anomaly appeared. A total of 9 heavenly Dao divine lights descended from the sky. It entered Zhang Judao's body. This was the origin of Zhang Judao's name. Zhang Judao was a character from about 15,000 years ago. This person was extremely terrifying and was known as one of the strongest geniuses in the starry sky world. Many old great emperors who had cultivated for millions of years did not dare to fight Zhang Judao, which showed how strong Zhang Judao was. Who do you think you are? How dare you call out my clan's supreme genius by his name? Zhang Chen's expression was indifferent as a cold light flashed in his eyes. Zhang Judao, has your race been living a peaceful life for too long? The man suddenly sighed with emotion. Kill him, Zhang Chen said indifferently. Kill. With a loud roar, dozens of starry sky war chariots charged towards the cultivator. Apart from the destroyed war chariot that was used to clear the path, the rest of the war chariots only had one person on them. Every war chariot emitted boundless killing intent. The auras of the dozens of war chariots merged together and turned into a supreme killing force. They swept across heaven and earth, destroying the universe. They were extremely powerful. It was truly terrifying. Rumble. Loud rumbling sounds could be heard as even the void collapsed. Many people looked at those star chariots with deep shock in their eyes. If the war chariots were separated, they might not be as powerful as they had imagined. If they were combined, the power of the war chariots was too terrifying. Can that person block the attacks of so many war chariots? Someone asked. They felt that it would be as difficult as ascending to the heavens for that cultivator to block the attacks of so many war chariots. The power of the war chariots was simply too terrifying. However, at this moment, 2 strange lights flashed in the cultivator's eyes. Following that, the powerful war chariots and the cultivators on them were turned into ashes. Oh my God! Are my eyes playing tricks on me? Isn't this too terrifying? Who is he? Many people couldn't help but exclaim. Zhang Chen's expression was extremely gloomy as he controlled the war chariot to charge towards the cultivator. The war chariot he was sitting on was the Iron Blood War Chariot, a supreme treasure passed down from the immemorial era. It had experienced countless battles and was stained with the blood of countless gods and devils. When the Iron Blood War Chariot was activated, demonic chi began to surge out from the war chariot. Countless phantoms of gods and devils appeared in the demonic chi. The phantoms of gods and devils formed an army of gods and devils. With a loud roar, they could destroy everything. The phantoms formed by the army of gods and devils followed the Iron Blood War Chariot and charged towards the powerful cultivator. What a terrifying war chariot! Many people were shocked. The war chariot was too powerful. It was definitely an unimaginable supreme treasure. Now that it was activated by Zhang Chen, it displayed its terrifying strength. Kill! Zhang Chen roared, his killing intent soaring to the heavens. He and the war chariot wanted to kill the powerful cultivator. Destroy! At this moment, the powerful cultivator opened his mouth and spat out a single word. Bang! In an instant, Zhang Chen's body shattered and he died on the spot. As for the ancient chariot, it was grabbed by the mysterious and powerful man. The surrounding cultivators were all dumbfounded. Wasn't this man a little too terrifying? The man didn't stop. He walked forward step by step and soon disappeared without a trace. Who is he? Isn't he too strong? He shouldn't be a nameless cultivator. I've never seen this person before. I've also never heard of such a cultivator. The cultivators who had just arrived in the 9 states, the races outside the 10,000 races, and the other forces shook their heads. They didn't know this cultivator. I've seen this person before, a middle-aged cultivator said. This was a powerful cultivator from the fallen angel race. Who is he? Many people looked curiously at the fallen angel cultivator. Sacred God race. Divine Firmament King. The fallen angel cultivator said. Chapter 3075. The Northwest Sea was an extremely cold region. To the south was the Western Sea, and to the north was the Arctic plains. Snowflakes could be seen everywhere. However, the surface of the sea was not frozen. Linfeng, the heretical sovereign saint, and Duzu arrived at the depths of the Northwest Sea. They looked into the distance and saw a huge island. The island was like a continent in the middle of the sea. They couldn't see the end of it. Is that Lulan Island? Why is it so big? Linfeng stared at the island in shock. This island was truly too large. Anyone who saw it would be astonished. Many cultivators had gathered around the island. Now, many people were talking about what had happened before. Every time there's a rain of blood, there's a chance to enter. An old man said, "Why is it like this?" Someone asked. They didn't understand why it was so strange. It sounded very creepy. Rumor has it that people used to live on Lulan Island. They were called the natives of Lulan Island. However, some experts came to Lulan Island. They killed all of them, not leaving a single one alive. Before the natives died, they cursed the experts who killed them as well. Those experts died tragically because of the curse. From then on, Lulan Island became extremely strange. Blood splattered everywhere, as if describing the tragic fate of the natives of Lulan Island. The old cultivator said. When Linfeng and the others heard the old cultivator, they couldn't help but frown. They didn't know if the old cultivator was telling the truth. If it was true, that battle back then was truly tragic. Blood must have flowed like rivers, right? A woman flew over from the distance. She didn't show herself, instead hiding in the dark. She glared hatefully at Linfeng. She was an extremely beautiful woman. Whether it was her figure or her face, they were all of the best quality. She exuded a mature charm that was extremely seductive. If Linfeng saw that woman, he would definitely recognize her identity. This woman was none other than Long Wuxin from the Palace of Cold Blood in the extreme north. Her elder sister, Long Wushuang, hated all the men in the world after she was slightly injured. Long Wushuang was furious when she found out that Long Wuxin and Linfeng had done that kind of wonderful thing. He even planted the heart-biting goo in Long Wuxin. The heart-devouring goo poison was extremely strange. Anyone who was poisoned by the heart-devouring goo poison would regard the man they loved as their most hated enemy. Long Wuxin had the heart-biting goo insect for a long time. She had lost herself in it. In her heart, Linfeng was no longer her lover, but an enemy she had to get rid of. Therefore, Long Wuxin came to kill Linfeng. Linfeng looked towards Long Wuxin as if he had sensed something. He didn't see Long Wuxin's face, only his back from afar. Then, Long Wuxin quickly disappeared without a trace. Linfeng couldn't help but frown. He felt that the back of that person was very familiar. However, it was too far away, and it was just a flash. Linfeng couldn't be sure who that person was. "Young master, do you know that person?" Duzu asked. Linfeng said, "Maybe I was mistaken." For the next few days, Linfeng waited for the blood rain to fall again. Wu Liang Daoist left the 9 states. If he didn't, he would definitely be here by now. Linfeng couldn't help but mutter to himself. Wherever there were treasures, the immeasurable Daoist would run to. If a place like Lulan Island appeared, Wu Liang Daoist would definitely rush there as soon as possible. However, Wu Liang Daoist had already left, so Wu Liang Daoist was destined to miss the opportunity in Lulan Island or even Lulan City. On this day, Linfeng saw the cursed doll. However, Linfeng didn't show himself. More and more experts arrived at the island. Linfeng even saw young Master Nye and the other geniuses of the myriad races. He also saw Xing Yuqin, Yuling Xin, Fairy Yao Ji, and the other geniuses. The old golden crow is also here. Duzu flew to the island where Linfeng was resting. Duzu couldn't stay idle for even a moment. This time, he came back with a piece of shocking news. The old golden crow, the protector of the heavenly demon emperor's son, had appeared. Now, the old golden crow's true body had appeared. It was exceptionally terrifying. The old golden crow's gaze was gloomy, and his entire body exuded a sinister and terrifying aura. Ever since the heavenly demon emperor's son was killed by Linfeng, The old golden crow's true body had appeared with monstrous killing intent. The old golden crow hated Lin Feng to the core. He wanted nothing more than to kill Lin Feng right now to avenge the heavenly demon emperor's son. Lin Feng looked into the distance and saw the old golden crow's figure. This old thing is a huge problem. Lin Feng couldn't help but frown. The old golden crow was too powerful. It was no wonder why Lin Feng was so wary of him. Ordinary people couldn't fight against an existence like the old golden crow. The old thing was definitely a great emperor with a profound cultivation base. Lin Feng didn't know what level he was at for now. The outside world was saying that the old golden crow was very likely an imperial emperor. However, Lin Feng didn't know whether he was an imperial emperor or not. The female cultivator who had been following the heavenly demon emperor's son appeared next to the old golden crow. Lin Feng didn't recognize her. However, she definitely had an extraordinary identity. Her figure was as sexy and alluring as ever, and her face was as beautiful as ever. She was like a fairy who had fallen from the 9 heavens. Each and every one of her movements had a stunning beauty. She was definitely a supreme beauty. Her cultivation base was very strong. She had displayed great battle prowess and talent during the Prodigy tournament. She hadn't been following the heavenly demon emperor's son for a while. Now, her aura had undergone a tremendous change. Perhaps she had been cultivating in seclusion during that period of time. Of course, there were still many experts who hadn't shown themselves. Many of them kept a low profile and liked to pretend to be weak. There were also many who were more sinister and liked to sneak up on others. Thus, these cultivators didn't show themselves on their own accord. Not long after, a cultivator arrived at the outer region of Lulan Island. Divine Firmament King. Soon, someone recognized the Divine Firmament King. This caused a huge uproar and shocked everyone. The cultivators of the myriad races were especially shocked. Chapter 3076. It's really the Divine Firmament King. Many cultivators quickly rushed over and looked at the Divine Firmament King. When those cultivators saw the Divine Firmament King, they could confirm that it was really him. Who is the Divine Firmament King? Many cultivators were puzzled as they did not know who the Divine Firmament King was. That was because the extraterrestrial world was too big. No matter how talented the Divine Firmament King was, he was not an expert who ruled the heavens. The heavenly sage great world's myriad races. The cultivators in the stellar regions around the heavenly sage great world might have heard of the Divine Firmament King. However, the extraterrestrial races and cultivators in the great worlds might not have heard of the Divine Firmament King. The Divine Firmament King, the genius of the number 1 race, the sacred god race. He's someone from 18,000 years ago, and he's still extremely young. Of course, that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that he became a the Arch at the age of 40. A cultivator said, "What? He became a the Arch at the age of 40? How is that possible?" Following that, many people exclaimed in disbelief. This was really shocking news. This kind of news sounded too unbelievable, so it was hard for people to believe that it was true. Many people felt that it was fabricated news. However, this news was quickly verified because a great emperor-level expert came out to verify this matter. Becoming a the Arch at the age of 40 is like a legend. Many people sighed. 18,000 years have passed. No one knows how powerful the Divine Firmament King is now. Maybe he can compete with a high-level Arch? Or maybe he's even more terrifying. Many cultivators were talking about the Divine Firmament King. This was because the Divine Firmament King was like a legend. He was too extraordinary, so no one could avoid the topic of the Divine Firmament King. Even those cultivators who already knew of the Divine Firmament King were extremely shocked when they saw him. Not to mention those who were hearing about the Divine Firmament King for the first time. The shock in those cultivators' hearts was far from being described with words. Lin Feng was also extremely shocked when he heard about the Divine Firmament King's achievements. Such a genius actually existed in the world. It was really shocking and enviable. It was simply unimaginable to become a the Arch at the age of 40. Before the great change in the world, there was no way for the 9 prefectures to become an emperor. Even a heaven-defying existence like the Red World Fairy who had cultivated 3,000 types of great Tao, had only become an emperor after the great changes in the world. Because she stayed in 9 regions, the Red World Fairy was suppressed by the laws and could not break through. If she left 9 regions, she might be able to become an emperor as soon as possible. The outer world is far too vast. Those top-notch geniuses possess heaven-defying battle prowess that can make others pale with fright, Lin Feng said. He yearned for the outside world more and more. However, Lin Feng knew that even if he wanted to leave the 9 prefectures, he could only do so after solving the crisis of the 9 prefectures, drive out the Tartars, and restore the mountains and rivers. This was a sentence that every cultivator of 9 regions should take as their motto. At the end of the day, finally, another rain of blood fell. Quick, hurry up and go in. If the blood rain disappears, we'll have to wait even longer. Many cultivators couldn't help but shout. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. One cultivator after another rushed into the rain of blood and quickly flew in the direction of Lulan Island. Lin Feng condensed a magical barrier around his body. The barrier protected his body as Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the heretical sovereign saint also quickly flew in the direction of Lulan Island. Suddenly, a faint voice resounded in the rain. How long will the blood rain last? Who will pity the billions of corpses? Eternal life is without tears of the blue ocean. Eternal immortality is but a dream. Lin Feng was shocked when he heard the faint voice. It was too mysterious and abrupt. It was as if someone was whispering in his ear. It was a short poem. When he heard the poem, Lin Feng couldn't help but see a boundless ocean of blood, a boundless world of blood, and countless corpses falling from the sky. The corpses on the ground were piled up like a mountain. Lin Feng quickly shook his head. Only then did the images completely disappear. He continued to listen to the voice. The voice completely disappeared as if it had never appeared. This puzzled Lin Feng. Could it be that everything before was just an illusion? Did you guys hear anything special? Lin Feng looked at Du Zhu and the heretical sovereign saint. Something special? What do you mean? Du Zhu and the heretical sovereign saint looked at Lin Feng in confusion. They hadn't heard the special sound Lin Feng had mentioned. Lin Feng frowned. Du Zhu and the heretical sovereign saint didn't hear anything. Was he the only one who heard it? This place was indeed very strange. He had to be very careful, or he might suffer a calamity. Screech. A sharp, ear-piercing sound suddenly came from inside Lulan Island. Then, a dense swarm of blood-colored bugs flew out. These blood-colored bugs were extremely ugly. They looked like bats. However, they had a hard shell and a pair of wings. When they saw the blood-colored bugs, many cultivators didn't pay too much attention to them at first. After all, many cultivators were extremely strong. Wasn't it easy for them to deal with some blood-colored bugs? Many cultivators had the same thought. Next, some cultivators took action, wanting to exterminate the blood-colored bugs. However, something shocking happened. When the cultivators unleashed their powerful magics, the blood-colored bugs devoured all of their magics. Blood-colored bugs that can devour divine abilities? What the hell is that? Many people couldn't help but exclaim. Their faces turned ugly. These blood-colored bugs were too strange. Even Lin Feng had never seen such a strange blood-colored bug before. When the divine abilities of the cultivators were devoured, the blood-colored bugs swarmed over and surrounded the cultivators. The cultivators who were surrounded by the blood-red bugs hurriedly brought out their magic power light shields to protect themselves. However, the magic power light shields were quickly gnawed away. There were also people who took out defensive magic artifacts to protect themselves, but the defensive magic artifacts released a defensive magic artifact was quickly gnawed away by the blood-colored bugs. Chapter 3077. Holy shit. Isn't this too terrifying? Lin Feng couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air when he saw the blood-colored bugs devouring the cultivators. What kind of bugs are these? They're so terrifying. At this moment, a large number of blood-colored bugs surrounded Lin Feng. Lin Feng directly used the Bladestorm ability. Dense and endless sword chi condensed and slashed at the blood-colored bugs. However, the sword chi condensed by Lin Feng's ability couldn't resist the blood-colored bugs at all. There seemed to be nothing that the blood-colored bugs couldn't devour. The sword chi formed by the blade storm was completely devoured by the blood-colored bugs. These blood-colored bugs were too terrifying. After devouring the sword chi formed by Lin Feng's blade storm, the blood-colored bugs immediately pounced on Lin Feng. Next, the blood-red bugs wanted to devour Lin Feng like they had devoured the other cultivators. Lin Feng didn't know what species these blood-colored bugs were. This was because there were many blood-colored bugs. What was the largest race in the world? It was the bug race. There were too many types of insects. Even a cultivator who specialized in cultivating insects would not be able to do so. The number of bugs he knew was just a drop in the ocean. The extraordinary power of these blood-colored bugs shocked Lin Feng and made him sigh. The world was so big, and there were all kinds of strange things. Lin Feng quickly summoned the heavenly fire. Chi 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 chi. Under the burning of the heavenly fire, the blood-colored bugs that pounced on Lin Feng were instantly burned to death. Du Zhu and the heretic sovereign saint had their own ways to deal with these blood-colored bugs. The poison ancestor was highly toxic to begin with. When the blood-colored bugs got close to him, a large amount of poison gushed out of Du Zhu's body. The densely packed blood-colored bugs were directly poisoned to death by Du Zhu. After this guy poisoned the blood-colored bugs to death, then he stretched out his hand, grabbed the blood-red bugs, and stuffed them into his mouth. As he chewed on the blood-colored worms, he praised in a muffled voice, "What a delicacy! It's so delicious." Upon seeing this, Lin Feng suddenly had the urge to kick Du Zhu into outer space. This guy really had a heavy taste. He even ate this kind of small bug. It was really disgusting. The evil Dominator Saint's method of dealing with those blood-colored bugs was even simpler. The body of the evil Dominator Saint was simply too tough. This was because he was a zombie, and a zombie was a type of zombie. A zombie's body was invulnerable, and the evil Dominator Saint's corpse was an emperor's corpse. The corpses of the emperor corpses were even tougher. Therefore, those little bugs couldn't bite the evil Dominator Saint's body at all. The evil Dominator Saint's body wasn't made of flesh and blood. These are blood fiend bugs, a type of bug that specializes in devouring magic power. Don't use magic power. Any method that requires magic power won't be able to kill these bugs. Use some special methods to deal with them. Some of the more knowledgeable cultivators recognized the origin of these insects and shouted loudly, "What? These bugs are blood fiend bugs?" Immediately, some cultivators exclaimed, their faces filled with disbelief. This was a type of bug that had disappeared for a long time. Now, it had actually appeared in this place. Next, many cultivators took out jade talismans and the like to deal with the bugs. When the jade talismans and the like were activated, a large number of bugs were killed. After killing a large number of blood fiend bugs, the cultivators quickly flew towards Lulan Island. Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the evil Dominator Saint quickly entered Lulan Island. However, as soon as they entered, a desolate aura swept over them. No one knew how many years it had been since anyone had entered this island. The aura was also different from the outside world. There was a thick stench of blood everywhere. Perhaps it was because of the frequent battles that broke out on this island? Many cultivators arrived at Lulan Island, just like Lin Feng and the others. Just as everyone was carefully sizing up Lulan Island, the sky suddenly darkened. Everyone looked up and immediately saw a dense cluster of giant dragons. They were giant dragons with wings. Each of them had a wingspan of 300 to 400 meters and a body length of 500 to 600 meters. These dragons were completely purple in color. Their bodies were surrounded by lightning. Double-winged lightning dragons? Lin Feng was shocked. Double-winged lightning dragons were a type of dragon of the Western Dragon Clan. They controlled the power of lightning laws. Even among the Western Dragon Clan, they were considered very powerful. Double-winged lightning dragons were very rare in the outside world, but here, several hundred of them had appeared. After the appearance of the twin-winged lightning dragons, other beasts appeared. One by one, giant golden eagles with bodies over 100 meters long appeared. There were about 400 to 500 of those golden eagles. Golden eagles, it's a ferocious bird that can no longer be seen in the outside world. Some of the cultivators exclaimed, Their faces were filled with shock. They had seen another terrifying living being. This was truly unbelievable. Boom, boom, boom. At this time, the double-winged lightning dragons and golden eagles launched a fierce attack on the cultivators who entered Lulon Island. One after another, destructive attacks came crashing down. They blotted out the sky and covered the earth. It was terrifying to the extreme. The attacks were aimed at the cultivators who entered Lulon Island. Damn it! These despicable beasts! Many people couldn't help but curse loudly. They were furious beyond words. The wounds they suffered were extremely serious. It was as though they were on the verge of going berserk. Many of them failed to dodge in time and were killed off. The losses were extremely heavy. Many people died under the attacks of those terrifying creatures. Crack, crack. At this time, the ground cracked open. Then, terrifying creatures crawled out from the abyss. They were extremely ugly and emitted an extremely evil aura. They were like the great demons of the fiend race. Each of these creatures held a huge stone club in their hands. These huge and evil creatures swung their stone clubs at the surrounding cultivators. Bang, bang, bang. Following a series of violent collisions, many cultivators were smashed into meat paste. Rumble. The ground in the distance was shaking violently. The roars of beasts resounded through the clouds. Looking over, a dense pack of ferocious beasts was charging from the depths of Lulon Island. A beast tide. When Lin Feng saw those ferocious beasts blotting out the sky, his expression suddenly changed. The beasts in Lulon Island were too frightening. He sensed several frightening auras. Chapter 3078. Let's go. We need to leave this place quickly. I'm afraid there will be greater danger later. Lin Feng's divine sense was very strong. He could sense the terrifying aura in the depths of the forest. They couldn't stay here any longer. They needed to break out of this place as soon as possible. Otherwise, the situation would be very bad for them. Du Zhu and the heretic sovereign saint nodded solemnly. The surroundings were too dangerous. Danger lurked everywhere. There were killings everywhere. Cultivators were dying constantly. Of course, there were also many beasts that were killed by the cultivators. Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the heretic sovereign saint were together. They chose a direction and began to break out of the encirclement. Pooh, pooh, pooh. Lin Feng wielded the stone sword and slashed at the incoming beasts. The stone sword's power was too extraordinary. Every slash of the sword could kill a large number of beasts. Several double-winged lightning dragons and golden eagles had their eyes on Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the heretic sovereign saint. Du Zhu laughed strangely. I'll let you have a taste of poison first. As soon as he finished speaking, Du Zhu waved his hand. Instantly, the poisonous fog rolled. Powerful poisonous gas rushed out quickly. A large amount of poison enveloped the double-winged lightning dragons and golden eagles that were charging at them. After absorbing a large amount of poison, the double-winged lightning dragons and golden eagles became weak. Although they were flapping their wings, it was obvious that their strength was greatly weakened. Moreover, their eyes were filled with pain. Slash! Lin Feng shouted. He wielded the stone sword and slashed at the double-winged lightning dragons and golden eagles. Poochie! Tearing sounds could be heard. One by one, the double-winged lightning dragons and golden eagles were killed by Lin Feng. They quickly flew into the distance. However, not long after, Lin Feng and the others were targeted by other beasts. They were targeted by more than a dozen silver-winged demonic wolves. Each silver-winged demonic wolf was more than 10 meters long. When they spread their wings, they could cover the sky. These silver-winged demon wolves were extremely powerful, and their auras were incomparably terrifying. Lin Feng felt that these silver-winged demonic wolves' physical bodies and magic power had already reached the great Emperor realm. However, their divine abilities and soul spirits had yet to reach the great Emperor realm. Thus, these silver-winged demonic wolves couldn't be considered true emperors, but they weren't far off. The dozen or so silver-winged demonic wolves were as fast as lightning. In addition, their race's divine ability was extremely powerful, so dealing with them was simply too difficult. Who? The silver-winged demonic wolves spat out silver spears one after another. The attacks of those silver spears were simply too tyrannical. A light blow. It could shatter billions of voids. It pierced through heaven and earth. Such a tyrannical divine ability was naturally extremely shocking. Facing the attacks of these silver-winged demonic wolves, Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the evil Dominator Saint did not dare to be careless. Lin Feng waved his hand and directly summoned the Heavenly Profound Treasure Pagoda. He used the Heavenly Profound Pagoda to protect his body. When the spears arrived, they all hit the Heavenly Mystery Pagoda's defensive light barrier. Clang, 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 clang. A series of violent collisions rang out. Those spears were all blocked by the Heavenly Profound Treasure Pagoda's defensive light barrier. The Heavenly Profound Treasure Pagoda's defensive light barrier was indeed powerful, as expected of an Emperor-level supreme treasure. Hand of Earth. At this moment, the evil Dominator Saint unleashed his might. As his voice fell, he condensed numerous large hands. Those large hands were large hands that drilled out from the ground. They were formed from soil and mountain rocks. However, those large hands were extremely powerful. Those large hands directly grabbed the four limbs of the silver-winged demonic wolves. They restricted the movements of the silver-winged demonic wolves. Poison of 10,000 poisons. At this moment, the poison ancestor unleashed an extremely powerful poison technique. He slapped out with both hands one after another, and a monstrous poisonous fog began to churn. Within the poisonous fog, many terrifying poison spirits were congealed. Those poison spirits possessed extremely powerful powers. Every single one of them could be said to be capable of destroying heaven and earth. Of course, these poison spirits not only had powerful attacks, but also contained deadly poison. The deadly poison contained within these poison spirits was extremely unimaginable. If one's cultivation was slightly weaker, they might even be poisoned to death. From this, one could see how terrifying this poison was. Lin Feng charged out as fast as lightning, waving the stone sword in his hand. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Cold light flashed. Rays of dazzling cold light swept out. They slashed towards the surrounding silver-winged demonic wolves. Roar. The silver-winged demonic wolves roared in both shock and anger. Powerful magic power gushed out of these silver-winged demonic wolves, and the magic power formed magic power light shields to protect their bodies. However, not long after the magic power barrier was formed, it began to crack. These silver-winged demonic wolves had already been poisoned by Du Zhu's deadly poison, so it was very difficult for them to circulate their magic power. Therefore, their bodies were unable to support them for too long, which led to the current situation. At this time, the sword chi that Lin Feng sent out with the stone sword collided with the magic power barrier around the silver-winged demonic wolves. The magic power barrier around the silver-winged demonic wolves was unable to withstand the attack of Lin Feng's sword chi. Those magic power barriers were all destroyed by Lin Feng's sword chi. Following that, the terrifying sword chi directly tore apart the bodies of the silver-winged demonic wolves. More than a dozen powerful silver-winged demonic wolves were quickly killed under the joint attack of Lin Feng, the heretic sovereign saint, and Du Zhu. Lin Feng and the rest did not dare to stay and continued to break out. At this time, a cold voice suddenly came from afar. Kill them! Following that voice, the surrounding hundreds of fierce beasts all rushed towards Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the heretic sovereign saint. Lin Feng's expression became grave. This time, they were going to experience a fierce battle. He looked at the terrifying being that gave the order. Lin Feng's face immediately revealed an incomparably shocked expression. That terrifying being was actually a spirit snake. It was a golden spirit snake, emitting a terrifying aura. That spirit snake floated in the air. Its cold eyes looked at Lin Feng and the rest. It was as if it was looking at three dead people. That little golden snake's status was clearly different. The surrounding ferocious beasts also looked at the little golden snake with reverence in their eyes. Lin Feng and the rest fought with the fierce beasts that were surrounding them. With the powerful defense of the mysterious Sky Treasure Pagoda, Lin Feng and the rest blocked wave after wave of fierce beasts. The fierce beasts were directly killed by Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the heretic sovereign saint, their corpses lying in the forest. To catch bandits, First capture the leader. To shoot a man, first shoot the horse. Let's get rid of that little golden snake first. Chapter 3079. Lin Feng didn't know the identity of the little golden snake, but since it could command other beasts, it must be extraordinary. The heavenly mystery pagoda formed a powerful defense, blocking the attacks of the surrounding beasts. Du Zhu and the heretic sovereign saint followed closely behind Lin Feng. The three of them attacked and defended well, and their cooperation was flawless. With the three of them working together, they killed the powerful beasts while quickly approaching the little golden snake. Trash, trash, all of you are trash. The little golden snake saw that Lin Feng and the other two weren't killed after a long time and couldn't help but roar with extreme anger. This little golden snake's temper wasn't good, and it was very irritable. It was even more so now, and its eyes flashed with a sinister and resentful light. Die! Lin Feng and the other two finally tore open an opening, and then quickly attacked the little golden snake. They were as fast as lightning, and soon arrived beside the little golden snake, and then launched a powerful attack on the little golden snake. Lin Feng wielded the stone sword and slashed at the little golden snake, while Du Zhu continued to use the myriad poison art, an unparalleled and powerful poison art, to kill the little golden snake. As for the heretic sovereign saint, he used another powerful ability, and evil chi rolled in the surroundings. Chains appeared in the midst of the powerful evil energy. Those chains sealed the world and prevented the little golden snake from leaving. The little golden snake's eyes were extremely gloomy. It clearly didn't want to fight Lin Feng and the other two head-on, so the little golden snake wanted to break out, but it couldn't do so. Lin Feng and the other two trapped the little golden snake. Moreover, after being poisoned by Du Zhu's poison, the little golden snake's movements clearly became sluggish. Lin Feng's stone sword had already slashed at the little golden snake's body. A clanging sound of collision was heard. The tyrannical attack on the little golden snake's body actually produced a clanging sound, but it couldn't tear the little golden snake's body apart. This was the stone sword, which could easily kill foreign creatures, but it couldn't cut through the little golden snake's body. It was unbelievable. Ah, it hurts to death. It hurts to death. The little golden snake wasn't completely unharmed after taking the stone sword's attack, and at this moment, it couldn't help but cry out in pain. Crown Prince? What Crown Prince? Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the heretic sovereign saint were shocked and puzzled. The little golden snake's body was extremely hard. Lin Feng and the others were astonished when they heard the little golden snake call itself Crown Prince. The little golden snake called itself Crown Prince, which was extremely strange. What kind of Crown Prince was this guy? Lin Feng's reaction. He didn't kill the little golden snake's body, and in the next moment, he quickly appeared in front of the little golden snake and grabbed the little golden snake. The little golden snake opened its mouth and bit at Lin Feng. This guy's poisonous fangs were exposed, and the venom was actually golden. It was extremely strange. It must be an extremely terrifying venom. Facing the little golden snake's attack, Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He flicked his finger, and it immediately hit the little golden snake's weak point. In an instant, the little golden snake seemed to have been drained of all its strength. Its head drooped down. It was caught off guard. The little golden snake was directly knocked unconscious by Lin Feng's flick. Roar! The surrounding beasts all let out low roars, looking at Lin Feng with eyes full of killing intent. At this moment, Du Zhu and the heretic sovereign saint seemed to have become outsiders, and all the beasts' eyes were on Lin Feng. However, these beasts didn't surround Lin Feng. They wanted to kill Lin Feng. However, it was obvious that the little golden snake was now in Lin Feng's hands, and these beasts didn't dare to attack Lin Feng. Lin Feng used a restriction to imprison the little golden snake, then took out a porcelain bottle, opened the little golden snake's mouth, and took out the venom in the little golden snake's teeth. Lin Feng had seen all kinds of venom, but he had never seen a golden venom like this. The little golden snake was too extraordinary, and the venom in its teeth was definitely an extremely terrifying type of venom. What are you doing? At this moment, the little golden snake woke up and couldn't help but shout angrily. However, After its mouth was opened by Lin Feng, its voice sounded a little muffled. What do you think I'm doing? Lin Feng couldn't help but roll his eyes. Ah! In the next moment, the little golden snake let out a heart-wrenching roar. It was mad with hatred, and its killing intent towards Lin Feng was like a torrential river. Despite its noble status, it had been reduced to being a tool for Lin Feng to extract its venom. This made the little golden snake feel extremely sullen. It felt as if it had been humiliated endlessly. Kill, kill, kill. This crown prince will definitely kill you. The little golden snake continued to roar. I've decided to keep you in captivity and extract some snake venom every day. This snake venom should be very powerful, right? Lin Feng immediately smiled. Hearing Lin Feng's words, the little golden snake even had the thought of dying. Scram, all of you, scram. Otherwise, I'll kill it. Do you believe me? Lin Feng held the little golden snake in his hand as he threatened the terrifying beasts that were gathering around him. When the beasts saw the little golden snake in Lin Feng's hand, they became fearful and didn't dare to move forward. However, they didn't retreat. Instead, they surrounded Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the heretic sovereign sage. Order these guys to open up a path. Lin Feng looked at the little golden snake and said, Just wait for your death. The little golden snake sneered. I'll flick, I'll flick, I'll flick. Lin Feng aimed at the snake 7 inches away from its body and suddenly jumped up. This was a fatal spot for snakes, and it couldn't be touched. It would cause great harm to them. This time, the little golden snake didn't faint like before. However, it was still severely injured, and it couldn't help but cry out in pain. The little golden snake hurriedly shouted, Stop! Stop! Hurry up and stop! Although Lin Feng had only flicked the snake's weak spot a few times, it was still severely injured. In the end, the little golden snake chose to submit. It roared, Scram! I'll kill anyone who dares to come close. The surrounding beasts hurriedly retreated, not daring to come any closer. Lin Feng, the poison ancestor, the evil Zun saint, and the evil ancestor flew away. Chapter 3080. The snake's expression was indifferent. It did not answer Lin Feng. Lin Feng sneered. You're getting angry. I'm asking you a question. How dare you ignore me? You're asking for a beating. When the little golden snake heard Lin Feng, it was so scared that it started shivering. It did not want to go through that again. The physical damage was secondary. The key was the damage to one's mental state, which was especially fatal. The snake was so angry that it wanted to bite Lin Feng to death. However, it did not dare to offend Lin Feng too much. It was worried that Lin Feng would torture it again. Someone went to a place he shouldn't have and took something he shouldn't have. He angered the Beast Emperor of Lulan Island. The snake said. Lin Feng was shocked. He did not expect this to be the reason. Lin Feng had sensed the auras of several terrifying beasts. They were definitely high-level great emperors. Those beasts were probably not beast emperors. The word emperor meant supreme. Lulan Island naturally only had one supreme. What did they steal? Lin Feng asked. I don't know the details. The snake said. Lin Feng flicked the snake's weak spot, causing it to cry out in pain. Didn't you call yourself the Crown Prince? Since you call yourself the Crown Prince, that means the Beast Emperor is your father, right? How dare you say you don't know what was stolen? Lin Feng said indifferently. The snake wanted to cry but had no tears. That's a forbidden area. Only the Beast Emperor can enter. I can't enter, so how can I know what's inside? Lin Feng was shocked. To think that such a place existed. It was too extraordinary. What kind of treasure was inside a forbidden area? Clearly, there was more than one treasure in a place like that. The cultivators who entered earlier had only taken one item. There must be many more treasures inside, right? Would he be able to gain anything inside? With that thought in mind, Lin Feng's heart pounded. However, Lin Feng didn't ask the little golden snake where the forbidden area was. This was to prevent the news of him entering the forbidden area from leaking out. Do you know where Lulan Island's treasure is? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. He felt that since this little golden snake lived on Lulan Island, It was very likely that it knew something about the island's treasures. Perhaps he could find out about Lulon Island's treasures from him and obtain them in the end. Of course I do. If you keep going deeper and pass through the swamp of despair, you'll reach the place where the treasure is buried. The little golden snake said. This guy actually cooperated with him, which made Lin Feng very surprised. He looked at the golden snake and said, "You aren't lying to me, right?" "Of course not. I wouldn't dare to lie to you," the little golden snake said. Duzu said, "You're so honest. You must be up to something." The heretic sovereign sage said, "That's right. This fellow doesn't seem honest at all. It might be scheming against us. We need to torture it a little. Only then will it talk." The little golden snake even had the urge to cry. If it didn't answer honestly, it would be seen as uncooperative. It would be tortured. If it answered honestly, it would be seen as a scheme. It would also be tortured. Hence, the little golden snake was so depressed that it wanted to die. "I'm really not lying. We can reach the place where the treasure is buried after passing through the swamp of despair. However, passing through the swamp of despair isn't easy," the little golden snake said. Lin Feng asked, "Have you ever passed through the swamp of despair before?" "No. The beast emperors have decreed that the beasts are not allowed to pass through the swamp of despair. The beasts are only active in the outer and central regions." The little golden snake said, "Are you sure you're not lying? If you're lying, you'll be tortured." Lin Feng said calmly, "How would I dare lie to you?" The little golden snake said with a sullen face. Even though he was furious, he wanted to chop Lin Feng into pieces and cut him into 1,000 pieces. He didn't care. However, the little golden snake hid it very well. It didn't show any of its negative emotions. The little golden snake was worried that Lin Feng would kill it if it showed any of its emotions. The beast hordes spread out. They didn't dare to get close to Lin Feng, Du Zhu, or the heretic sovereign sage. The little golden snake's orders had already spread out. Boom! A terrifying aura spread out from afar. Upon sensing it, Lin Feng's face was filled with shock. The creature that emitted this aura was definitely a high-level great emperor. At the very least, it was in existence in the sovereign emperor realm. "A terrifying creature has appeared. Let's leave quickly," Lin Feng said in a low voice and increased his speed. They had to leave this place quickly and get rid of the beast horde. Otherwise, the danger would never be resolved. "Release the crown prince." Not long after, the terrifying creature appeared. It was a ferocious bird. It was a giant golden eagle. It was the king of the golden eagles. Lin Feng had seen the golden eagles in action before. He knew how terrifying they were. The king of the golden eagles was even more terrifying. Its aura was so overwhelming that it was suffocating. It was impossible to resist. "I'm a timid person. Don't get too close to me. Otherwise, I don't know what I'll do." Lin Feng raised the little golden snake in his hand. The little golden snake tried to break free from Lin Feng's grasp. However, its body was restrained. It couldn't break free from Lin Feng's grasp. "You should know that if you hurt me, you won't have a good ending," the little golden snake said with a gloomy expression. This was the first time it had been imprisoned. It was almost driving it crazy. Lin Feng said with a smile, "If I let you go, I'll end up in a worse state. I can guarantee you that I won't let the golden eagles make things difficult for you." The little golden snake said, "Do you think I should believe your nonsense?" Lin Feng said indifferently. Snakes were the most cunning and went back on their words. Therefore, he didn't believe the little golden snake's words. "Get lost. Otherwise, I don't mind killing your crown prince." Lin Feng looked coldly at the golden eagles. "Lowly human ant, how dare you speak to me in such a tone?" The golden eagle said coldly. Its bloodthirsty eyes stared coldly at Lin Feng. Chapter 3081. Lin Feng said calmly, "So what if I'm threatening you? I'm not joking with you. Don't think that I don't dare to kill this guy," said Lin Feng. He grabbed the little snake's body with both hands and started tearing it apart. The golden snake's body was so tough that it didn't move an inch. The little golden snake couldn't help but look at Lin Feng with disdain. This little golden snake seemed to have no other weak points on its body other than its 7 inches. Lin Feng couldn't help but be surprised by the strength of the little golden snake's body, but immediately after, he smiled coldly. He activated the Dracophon arm. His strength increased. He tore it apart. Ah! The little golden snake let out an incomparably mournful cry. Spare me! Spare me! Don't kill me! The golden snake screamed in fear. It was really scared now. Even with its perverted body, it couldn't resist Lin Feng's strength. The golden snake was terrified. It didn't even dare to imagine how strong Lin Feng's arms were. Stop immediately. I'll leave now. Don't hurt the crown prince, the golden eagle king said with a gloomy expression. It was extremely sullen right now. It was actually being threatened by a human ant. It was so angry that it wanted to go crazy. The golden eagle king wanted to capture Lin Feng and torture Lin Feng. It wanted to see Lin Feng kneel in front of it and beg for mercy. However, the golden eagle king was afraid. It didn't dare to take the crown prince's life lightly. The beast emperor only had one son. If the crown prince died, the beast emperor would be furious. What are you waiting for? Scram as far as you can. Don't let me see you again. Lin Feng said coldly. Kid, if you dare to hurt the crown prince, I'll make sure you die a horrible death. The golden eagle king left behind a threatening sentence and quickly flew into the sky, disappearing in the blink of an eye. Lin Feng grabbed the little golden snake and quickly left with Du Zhu and the heretic sovereign holy. Because the golden snake was in Lin Feng's hands, the other beasts did not dare to attack Lin Feng and the others. In the end, Lin Feng and the other two managed to shake off the horde of beasts. Can you let me go now? The little golden snake said. What's the hurry? I feel very safe with you by my side. Lin Feng grinned. When the little golden snake heard Lin Feng's words, it almost burst into tears. Lin Feng felt safe, but it didn't. What will it take for you to let me go? The little golden snake asked. How about this? Can you be my mount for the time being? When I leave this place, I'll let you go. Lin Feng revealed a fiendish smile. Just kill me. Just kill me. The noble golden tyrant serpent clan will never become someone's mount. Even if it's for a day, 2 hours, or even a second, it's impossible. The little golden snake couldn't help but roar. Its attitude was firm, as if it was facing death with equanimity. Du Zhu, take out all the top-grade spirit medicines you have that can make even the holy maiden go crazy. Then, feed them to this guy. Lin Feng said with a smile. The little golden snake's expression turned unsightly. Top-grade spirit medicines, my ass. Just from the name alone, it was obvious what kind of medicine it was. If it really ate those medicines, who knew what kind of terrifying things would happen? The little golden snake had always thought of itself as a fiend. Whether it was the beasts in the forest or the cultivators on Lulan Island, there was no one who did not fear it. Now, it knew what a true fiend was. A true fiend was someone like Lin Feng. He was unforgivably evil. He was even more evil than the devils of hell. It was truly unlucky to have fallen into Lin Feng's hands. You win. The little golden snake's expression turned gloomy. Now, open your soul. I need to set up a restriction. I don't want you to betray me. Lin Feng said. The little golden snake was extremely unwilling in its heart, but it had no other choice but to submit. It didn't want to die. If it wanted to live, it had to listen to everything Lin Feng said. The little golden snake opened its soul and allowed Lin Feng to place a soul restriction on it. After that, Lin Feng was able to control the little golden snake for the time being. Lin Feng removed the restriction on the little golden snake's body. The little golden snake's magic power instantly recovered. In truth, the little golden snake was extremely powerful. However, it had encountered Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the heretic sovereign holy maiden. The three of them cooperated very well, so they quickly suppressed the little golden snake. Right now, Du Zhu could break through to the Emperor realm anytime. The heretic sovereign holy maiden's physical body wasn't any weaker than Lin Feng's. He also lacked an opportunity to break through. Grow bigger, Lin Feng said. The little golden snake nodded with a gloomy expression. Then, it turned into a huge golden snake that was over 10 meters long. It quickly flew through the forest. Late at night, beastly roars could be heard from the forest. Lin Feng, Du, the heretic sovereign holy maiden, and the little golden snake all surrounded the bonfire. There was delicious food roasting on the bonfire. The aroma was enticing. This was Lin Feng's best roast meat. It was enough to make anyone drool. Roast meat paired with a pot of wine was simply the greatest enjoyment. Soon, the roast meat was ready. Then, the four of them started eating. The little golden snake wolfed down the food as if it hadn't eaten anything before. No one would doubt it if it was the reincarnation of a hungry ghost. In the latter half of the night, Lin Feng saw a cultivator walking over from afar. It was an old man. His body was as thin as a stick. When he saw the old man, Lin Feng's face was filled with shock. It was him, that mummified old man. In the past, Lin Feng received a mission from the underworld to escort a coffin into the underworld. The mummified old man was the existence that walked out of the coffin. He was released by Lin Feng and the immeasurable Taoist. This existence was extremely terrifying. He had even entered the 18 levels of hell before. The underworld seemed to be his homeland. However, Lin Feng didn't know the identity of this mummified old man. Lin Feng still remembered that powerful cultivator in the underworld called the mummified old man Lord before he died. It was clear that this existence was very likely related to the underworld. Lin Feng hadn't seen him in a long time. Now, the mummified old man had actually come to Lulan Island. He didn't know why the mummified old man was here. Chapter 3082. Lin Feng would never forget the scene that happened in the past. He and Taoist Wu Liang saw with their own eyes that the underworld was empty after the old man was born. The underworld was the center of the underworld. Although the status of the underworld was not as good as before after the disappearance of the underworld lord, but the prestige of the underworld was not something that anyone could challenge. There were still many powerful existences in the underworld. But even such a powerful underworld had been frightened to such an extent by the appearance of an old man who resembled a mummy. One could imagine how powerful the old man was in the past. As time passed, the world changed. After he woke up from his slumber, he seemed to be looking for something. Lin Feng did not know what he was looking for. Lin Feng and Taoist Wu Liang had followed the old man to many places in the underworld. The old man did not stop them. Perhaps it was because the old man felt that he was released by Lin Feng and Taoist Wu Liang. Therefore, he would treat them differently. Who is that? Du, the evil dominator saint, and the little golden snake flew out. The little golden snake asked in confusion. An existence that should not be mentioned. Lin Feng said. He didn't say much. The mummified old man was too powerful. He didn't know if mentioning the mummified old man without permission would cause unnecessary trouble. That was why Lin Feng did not talk about this mysterious and terrifying existence in private. I don't want to sleep anymore. Let's travel through the night. Lin Feng said. The little golden snake's face darkened again. It had become Lin Feng's personal mount. This made the little golden snake extremely depressed. Every time Lin Feng was about to set off, it meant that it had to expand its body again and carry Lin Feng, Du, and the evil dominator saint. But the little golden snake could not resist Lin Feng now. Bring us to the forbidden area, Lin Feng said. Previously, Lin Feng hadn't planned on asking the golden snake about the forbidden area because Lin Feng was worried that the golden snake would have a way to leak the information. At that time, it would be extremely dangerous, and he might even die there. Moreover, even if he didn't ask the little golden snake, the forbidden area wasn't hard to find. He could find some psychic vicious beasts and search their souls to find out where the forbidden area was, because the forbidden area wasn't hidden. Just like the death zones in the outside world, many people knew where the death zones were, so it was not difficult to find them. Now that Lin Feng had asked about the forbidden area, he wasn't afraid that the little golden snake would tell him anything, because Lin Feng could sense the little golden snake's movements. If the little golden snake used a secret technique, it would spread the news. At that time, Lin Feng would definitely be able to detect all of this. Lin Feng knew that the little golden snake knew this as well, so he believed that the little golden snake would not take the risk unless it was tired of living. Why are you asking this? The little golden snake looked at Lin Feng vigilantly. Then it remembered how terrifying the forbidden area was. Could it be that you also want to attack the forbidden area? Asked the little golden snake, looking at Lin Feng cautiously. Yes, I am. Lin Feng grinned and did not deny it. What exactly was in the forbidden area that had been guarded by generations of beast emperors? Even without entering it, one could still guess. I can take you there. But let me put it bluntly. I've never entered the forbidden area, so don't expect me to lead the way for you. Although I'm the son of the beast emperor, the restrictions in the forbidden area don't recognize people. The little golden snake said. Of course. Don't worry about that. Lin Feng said. The little golden snake sighed in relief. It had been really worried that Lin Feng would ask it to lead the way in the forbidden area. At that time, he might really die without a burial ground. Aren't you worried about going to the forbidden area guarded by your father to steal the treasures inside? Why do you still look so excited? The heretic sovereign sage muttered. Lin Feng pursed his lips and said, This fellow thinks that we'll definitely die in the forbidden area. Of course it's happy. I don't think that way, the little golden snake hurriedly said, denying it. It was very worried that Lin Feng's group would kill it before entering the forbidden area. If it could trick the three of them into the forbidden area, they would definitely die. After all, the forbidden area was too dangerous, enough to trap and kill a great emperor. Apart from the various restrictions in the forbidden area, what other dangers are there? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. Before entering the forbidden area, he wanted to be fully prepared so that he wouldn't be caught off guard. There might be some terrifying creatures, but I don't know the specifics. Everything in the forbidden area is a mystery to everyone except the beast emperor. Lin Feng could sense the little golden snake's emotions fluctuating. The little golden snake wasn't lying. It really didn't know much about the forbidden area. 3 days later, Lin Feng's group arrived at the outer region of the forbidden area. Boom! A terrifying aura spread out. Terrifying creatures were fighting in the depths of the forbidden area. Not long after, Lin Feng saw the creatures fighting. It was a giant dragon with 8 wings. That dragon was entirely golden in color. It was a golden dragon with a monstrous aura. This golden dragon's aura was even stronger than the golden eagle king Lin Feng had seen before. This is one of the beast kings of Lulan Island. After that incident, Father sent it here to guard the forbidden area. The little golden snake said. Lin Feng also recognized the existence fighting the golden dragon. It was none other than the divine firmament king. He was a super genius from the sacred god clan, the #1 race of the myriad races. He was so terrifying that the mountains and rivers lost their color. He was young, but he had already walked a very long distance in the great emperor realm. The battle between the two was extremely intense. However, it was very difficult to determine the victor. Where's the beast emperor? Lin Feng was puzzled. He didn't see the beast emperor anywhere. Father wanted to do something very important. Otherwise, do you think anyone would be able to bring something out of the forbidden area? The little golden snake said. When it mentioned the beast emperor, its face was filled with pride. Boom, boom, boom. At that moment, 3 more terrifying auras came from the forest in the distance. 3 experts flew over. One of them was from the myriad races, one was from an alien race, and the last one was from the dark world. All 3 were great emperors. They were also eyeing the treasures in the forbidden area. So many great emperors have come. This is going to be troublesome. Seeing the arrival of the other 3 great emperors. Chapter 3083. Lin Feng knew the arch from the myriad races. He was none other than Xin Chu. This was the arch that had existed since the primordial era. He had existed for even longer than Shen Yueyao, who had been killed. His battle prowess was also much stronger. Sun Chu was very ruthless and was very good at scheming. Hence, no one dared to provoke him. The arch from the outside world came from the star-moon race. This existence was called Xing Luochen. He looked quite young, but he had already cultivated for 720,000 years. He was also an extremely terrifying existence. Lin Feng had seen the star-moon race's prodigy, Xing Yuchen. Xing Yuchen was this person's nephew. The dark world's cultivator was shrouded in darkness, emitting a sinister and terrifying aura. This person was called the Dark World Arch. He was an extremely terrifying existence. His cultivation level could definitely be described as unfathomable. Even in a great world like the Dark World, where experts were as common as clouds, he could be considered a top-notch expert. From this, one could see how powerful this person was. The three Thearchs arrived together. They were very shocked when they saw the Divine Firmament King fighting the Golden Dragon. They had long heard of the Divine Firmament King's reputation. The three Thearchs were actually very jealous of the Divine Firmament King. They had achieved their current achievements over hundreds of thousands, or even millions of years. Meanwhile, the Divine Firmament King was only 18,000 years old. His achievements were not inferior to theirs. Naturally, the three Thearchs were jealous. Everyone, follow me to slay this golden colossal dragon, the Divine Firmament King said after seeing the three Thearchs. Originally, the three Thearchs had wanted to ignore this matter and directly bypass the Divine Firmament King and the Golden Dragon to enter the Forbidden Grounds. Then they would take the treasures in the Forbidden Area. But now that the Divine Firmament King had spoken, they could not do it so openly, because that was equivalent to completely ignoring the Divine Firmament King. Perhaps they would completely offend the Divine Firmament King because of this matter. Although they were very jealous of the Divine Firmament King's achievements, the three Thearchs had to admit that they could not afford to offend the Divine Firmament King. In terms of family background, the Divine Firmament King was an expert from the Sacred God race. In terms of strength, although the three of them were very powerful, no one dared to say that they could definitely defeat the Divine Firmament King. In fact, they did not even know what level the Divine Firmament King's cultivation had stopped at. 10,000 years ago, the Divine Firmament King had killed an immortal Emperor-level expert. Not to mention now, in terms of age, the youngest among the three of them was Xing Luochen. However, Xing Luochen had already cultivated for 720,000 years. The Divine Firmament King was only around 18,000 years old. In terms of potential, the Divine Firmament King had become a Thearch at the age of 40. Who could compare to such talent? Offending an existence like the Divine Firmament King was definitely not a wise thing to do. Therefore, when the Divine Firmament King called them over, they had no choice but to join the Divine Firmament King in dealing with the Golden Dragon. This Divine Firmament King is not a pedantic person. He's not the kind of person who is blindly arrogant. He knows how to be flexible. Lin Feng could not help but mutter to himself. If it was any other great emperor, they might not take the initiative to ask other great emperors for help because they had no obligation to help them. However, the Divine Firmament King clearly did not think so. The Divine Firmament King had used his power to make such a request. Although the three great emperors were extremely unwilling, they did not dare to reject the Divine Firmament King's invitation. Ha 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 ha, so it's the Divine Firmament King. Nice to meet you. The other three great emperors were also shrewd people. Since they could not avoid this matter, they chose to face it with a smile. Although they were extremely unwilling to make a move at this time, their faces were full of smiles. Each of them was more sincere than the other, but only the three of them knew the reluctance in their hearts. Thank you for your help, fellow Taoists. The Divine Firmament King smiled slightly. His smile was very charming. It really made one feel like they were bathing in the spring breeze. The Divine Firmament King joined forces with the other three great emperors to attack the Golden Dragon. The Golden Dragon was very powerful. However, it could not withstand the attacks of the Divine Firmament King and the other three great emperors. This Divine Firmament King is obviously holding back. He's not using his full strength at all, said Du Zhu. Lin Feng nodded. He also had the same feeling. The Divine Firmament King had not used his full strength. He had only used a portion of his battle prowess. Even so, it was already terrifying enough. The Divine Firmament King's strength. People couldn't help but be shocked and aghast. If the Divine Firmament King had used his full strength, he might have been able to kill the Golden Dragon himself. This is the forbidden ground guarded by the Beast Emperor. You dare to trespass here? You're courting death. The Golden Dragon roared angrily. Cut the crap. Go to hell. The Dark Emperor's expression was extremely cold. He held a blood-red saber and circled behind the Divine Firmament King. Then, he slashed at the Divine Firmament King. Slash. A tearing sound could be heard. A huge wound was torn open on the golden dragon's back. Blood immediately gushed out. The golden dragon could not help but cry out in pain. The divine firmament king, Xin Shuyi, and Xing Luochen attacked. Slash, slash, slash. They each held powerful weapons and directly tore the golden dragon's body apart. The golden colossal dragon was severely injured. In a situation where it was 1 against 4, the golden dragon was no match for the divine firmament king and the other 3. Moreover, the golden dragon was severely injured. The golden dragon was in a very bad situation. The 4 of them could kill the golden colossal dragon at any time. The divine firmament king and the other 3 had prepared an even more powerful attack. They wanted to kill the golden dragon. Just as the golden dragon was about to be killed by the divine firmament king, a terrifying aura spread out from the void. That's Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the evil supremacy sage's eyes narrowed. A pair of huge eyes appeared in the void. It was a pair of cold eyes that made one's heart tremble. Although it was only a pair of eyes, anyone who saw those eyes would probably turn pale with fright. The Beast Emperor. It must be the Beast Emperor. Lin Feng could not help but take a deep breath. The pair of eyes that suddenly appeared was definitely the father of the golden snake, the terrifying Beast Emperor. Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the evil supremacy sage had not come into contact with the Beast Emperor before, so they did not know how powerful it was. Now, they only had to look at the Beast Emperor's eyes to feel a suffocating pressure. Chapter 3084. When the eye of the Beast Emperor appeared, the little golden snake's eyeballs started rolling around. This fellow was most likely up to some devious ideas. Lin Feng said calmly, "You better not play any tricks. Otherwise, I don't mind killing you directly." The little golden snake, who was originally up to no good, immediately became obedient after hearing Lin Feng's threat. It hurriedly said, "I'm not that kind of person. Young master, please don't misunderstand me like this. It's really a grievance comparable to June's snow." Lin Feng couldn't help but roll his eyes. This fellow actually knew about June's grievance. Lin Feng had the urge to slap him. "Lowly ants, how dare you touch my people? You're all courting death." A cold voice suddenly resounded between heaven and earth. Following that, 2 rays of cold light shot out from those terrifying eyes. Those 2 rays of cold light directly swept toward the 4 great experts. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. Suddenly, those 2 rays of cold light actually split into 4 rays of cold light. The eye of the Beast Emperor was really powerful. The rays of light that swept out could actually split into 2. The 4 great experts didn't choose to meet the eye of the Beast Emperor's gaze head-on. They chose to quickly retreat to avoid the terrifying gaze of the eye of the Beast Emperor. However, the eye of the Beast Emperor's gaze directly locked onto their bodies, making it impossible for the 4 of them to dodge. They had no choice but to resist the eye of the Beast Emperor's gaze. The 4 great experts each used their divine abilities to block the eye of the Beast Emperor's gaze. The divine firmament king was indeed powerful. His attack directly dissolved the eye of the Beast Emperor's gaze. Shunqi was also very terrifying. Although he was sent flying, he also blocked the eye of the Beast Emperor's gaze. The Emperor of the Dark World was sent flying. He couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. His face became as pale as a sheet of paper. A bloody hole appeared on Xing Luochen's body. From the matter of resisting the eye of the Beast Emperor's gaze, one could see the strength of these 4 people. Among the 4 of them, the divine firmament king, who had cultivated for the shortest time, was actually the strongest. Next was Shunqi. Next was the Emperor of the Dark World. The weakest was Xing Luochen. "My emperor is invincible." Seeing how powerful the eye of the Beast Emperor was, the giant golden dragon immediately shouted with great reverence. "Let's go," the divine firmament king said in a low voice. He was the first to fly into the distance. Then, the other 3 earthen sovereigns also quickly flew into the distance. Myriad Emperor gaze. Right at this moment, the eye of the Beast Emperor shot out terrifying beams of light. The beams of light seemed to be able to destroy the world. The attack of the eye of the Beast Emperor was simply too powerful, shocking everyone. Poochie, poochie, poochie. 3 consecutive ripping sounds were heard as the bodies of the 3 cultivators were torn apart one after another. The Dark Arch and Xing Luochen were almost sliced in half at the waist. Only the Divine Firmament King was unharmed. Then, the 4 of them used secret techniques to escape. The Eye of the Beast Emperor had a cold look on its face, but it didn't chase after them. Maybe its power wasn't enough to support the Eye of the Beast Emperor to chase after the 4 cultivators. Or maybe there were other reasons. After the 4 experts escaped, the Eye of the Beast Emperor quickly disappeared as well. The golden dragon let out a long roar and flew into a mountain range in the outer region of the forbidden area. There was a dragon's nest in that mountain range. That was the golden dragon's residence. Now that the golden dragon was severely injured, it hurriedly returned to its nest to recuperate. Seeing the golden dragon enter the dragon's nest, Lin Feng couldn't help but let out a long breath. His gaze then turned towards the area where the forbidden grounds were located. There were a range of mountains in that area, and they were emitting powerful energy waves. That area was like a land of death, emitting a power that made one's heart palpitate. Anyone who got close to the forbidden area would be turned into an undead spirit. That was definitely an extremely dangerous place. It was extremely dangerous, and one couldn't enter it casually. What's so special about this place that has been guarded by generations of beast emperors? Lin Feng couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. Then, he took the lead and flew toward the forbidden area. The little golden snake didn't want to follow Lin Feng in. Lin Feng let it wait outside. He wasn't afraid that the little golden snake would play any tricks. If the little golden snake really dared to play any tricks then, he would only need to use his divine sense to kill the little golden snake. Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the heretic sovereign sage entered the forbidden area together. Sure enough, there were powerful restrictions everywhere. Ordinary people would have a hard time entering a place like this. However, Lin Feng was different. Lin Feng's mastery of formations was too profound. He could walk through all kinds of killing formations as if they were flat ground. The restrictions in the Land of Death were no trouble for Lin Feng. Even though the deployment spells in the forbidden area were terrifying, Lin Feng had the impression that the deployment spells there were at the same level as the deployment spells in the forbidden area. Therefore, the restrictions here couldn't cause too much trouble for Lin Feng. Under Lin Feng's lead, the 3 of them smoothly ventured deeper into the forbidden area. There were a total of 5 mountains in the forbidden area. They crossed 3 mountains in a row. They didn't encounter any danger until they arrived at the 4th mountain range. Dong, dong, dong. A very strange sound suddenly resounded. After hearing this sound, Lin Feng and the other 2 couldn't help but frown. This sound sounded very much like the sound of gongs and drums. But in this forbidden area, who would play gongs and drums here? Therefore, Lin Feng felt very strange. However, that sound was getting clearer and clearer. He, Du Zhu, and the heretic sovereign sage had been searching for the source of that sound, but they didn't find anything. They didn't know where that sound came from either. It was so strange that it made one's heart tremble. The souls of the Yang realm, the ghosts of the Nether realm. We came from the Nether realm. We want to take away the souls of the Yang realm. At this moment, a cold and terrifying aura spread between heaven and earth. Then, a series of eerie voices resounded. After hearing those eerie voices, Lin Feng's heart couldn't help but tremble. That voice was so strange and terrifying. It was like the voice of a soul reaper from the Nether realm. Clattering sounds could be heard. This was the sound of chains colliding. After hearing this sound, Lin Feng felt his body turn cold. Something unclean is about to appear, Du Zhu said with a solemn expression. Swish. A light flashed. Lin Feng hurriedly took out the mysterious iron box containing the dismembered corpse. Chapter 3085. Even after Lin Feng took out the mysterious metal box, the existence hiding in the dark still had no intention of revealing itself. However, that cold and terrifying aura grew thicker and thicker, causing one's hair to stand on end and turn pale with fright. Du Zhu and the heretic dominator saint had been using their abilities to search for the existence hiding in the dark, but to no avail. Clearly, The existence hiding in the dark had extraordinary means. It was not an easy task to find them. Clank, clank, clank. The sound of chains colliding rang out from time to time. However, it was impossible to pinpoint the source of this terrifying sound. It was as if it had come out of nowhere. The river Styx of hell is flowing. We are carrying the soul-locking chains. We are carrying the soul-locking chains. We will bring the souls of the living world back to hell. The voices rang out again. It was so eerie that it caused one's hair to stand on end. The existence hiding in the dark did not reveal itself. It was unknown if it was because it was jealous of Lin Feng's mysterious metal box that it did not make a move. Lin Feng felt that it was possible. However, they did not leave. This meant that although the mysterious metal box had caused the terrifying existence to be wary, it was unable to scare them away. This young master has been to hell before. There's no need to play tricks here. Hurry up and come out, Lin Feng said indifferently. Back when he was still an underworld envoy, Lin Feng had been to the underworld several times. He felt that the existence hiding in the dark was not playing tricks. Those existences should really be creatures of the underworld. Of course, Lin Feng could not tell what the existence hiding in the dark was because he had yet to see what they looked like. The creatures of the underworld were all strange. There were all kinds of creatures. Therefore, it was not easy for Lin Feng to determine what kind of creatures they were. But if Lin Feng could see them, he'd be able to guess what kind of race they were. When Lin Feng first entered the underworld, he had seen many different kinds of creatures. He had a certain understanding of them. Boom! At that moment, waves of terrifying aura filled the air. The terrifying aura was suffocating. It was simply too tyrannical. A huge pitch-black shadow appeared. The shadow held a huge chain in its hand, and there were two huge horns on its huge head. The horns seemed to be the horns of an ox. Could it be the legendary ox head? Duzu could not help but mutter. In the legends, the soul-reaping ox head and horse face were. The ox head's weapon was a huge fork. The horse face weapon was a huge chain. The division of labor between Oxhead and Horseface was extremely clear. The fork in Oxhead's hand possessed extremely powerful offensive power. When they encountered souls who dared to resist, the Oxheads would kill them. The chain in Horseface's hand was the legendary soul-binding chain. This chain could bind the soul of any living being. Once the soul was bound, it would be completely trapped. It did not matter if you were an immortal or a god. However, once you were bound by the chain, when the time came, you could only obediently be manipulated by the underworld's emissaries. However, the ox head that appeared in front of them was not holding a huge fork. It was a chain. Clearly, legends could not be completely believed. Walala! The ox head directly took out the chain and swept it toward Lin Feng, Duzu, and the heretic dominator saint. When the chain swept over, the three of them instantly felt a suffocating aura envelop their bodies. At that moment, Lin Feng felt as if his soul was about to be devoured by endless darkness. The chain was very terrifying. It was not aimed at the physical body. It was aimed at the soul. The chain made Lin Feng feel as if he would forever sink into it. The feeling was very intense. Darkness devoured souls. They would never be able to wake up again. Death was coming. When death came, the soul would be entangled by the chain. Then, it would be brought to hell by the soul-reaping envoy. The aura of death was so dense. After sensing that aura, Lin Feng's mind could not help but tremble. This aura was too familiar. When he entered the underworld back then, he could feel this aura of death everywhere in the underworld. At this extremely dangerous moment, Lin Feng hurriedly activated Lu Ya's powerful divine ability, the star chart. As Lu Ya's star chart operated, instantly, the feeling of being devoured by darkness and sinking into eternal oblivion dissipated. Lu Ya's star chart observation was indeed too powerful, and it was different. This soul technique could play an extremely crucial role in many situations, just like now. By relying on Lu Ya's star-gazing chart, Lin Feng overcame the terrifying danger he had encountered earlier. He came back to his senses and saw the chains that wrapped around him. Lin Feng directly took out the stone sword. He held the stone sword with both hands and slashed at the chains that wrapped around him. Clang! The sound of a violent collision could not help but be heard. It was sonorous and deafening. Lin Feng's stone sword directly slashed at the chains that the bull-headed monster took out. Dense runes appeared on the chains. Each rune was surrounded by endless divine light. Those runes were filled with mystery. They contained power that was so powerful that it could not help but shock people. The power of Lin Feng's stone sword was extremely terrifying, but the power of the stone sword was dissolved by the runes. The origin of the runes on the chains was unknown. They were actually so extraordinary. However, Du Zhu and the evil Dominator Saint who heard the violent collision were startled awake. Despicable ant, go to hell! The bull-headed monster let out a cold voice. He opened his huge palm. The palm covered the sky and was surrounded by black fog. It directly suppressed Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the evil Dominator Saint. That palm was simply too huge. It was like a mountain. The aura was heavy and oppressive. This bull-headed monster was extremely terrifying. Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the evil Dominator Saint could not help but feel a chill in their hearts. Quickly retreat, Lin Feng shouted and took the lead to retreat into the distance. Du Zhu and the evil Dominator Saint did not dare to hesitate and quickly retreated. Chapter 3086. The Minotaur was extremely powerful. Lin Feng and the other two were having a hard time dealing with it. Facing the attack of the Minotaur, Lin Feng was indifferent. He waved his hand. The Bell of Hades flew out. This was the treasure passed down by the King of Hades. Lin Feng had mastered the skill of the Bell of Hades. He was able to activate the power of the Bell of Hades. If this creature was really from the underworld, it would definitely be restrained by the Bell of Hades. If it wasn't, then it would just be playing tricks here. Lin Feng believed that he would be able to cause great damage to this terrifying creature if he used all his treasures. Boom! The Bell of Hades vibrated and released a terrifying aura. Following that, a powerful aura spread out and enveloped the Minotaur. Feeling the powerful aura from the Bell of Hades, the Minotaur was shocked. Bell of Hades, despicable ant. You are the one who stole it. This Bell of Hades was something that Lin Feng and Taoist Wu Liang had accidentally obtained when they followed the mummified old man into the underworld. This treasure was the treasure of the underworld. It was placed in the ancestral hall to guard the fate of the underworld. Now that it was in Lin Feng's hands, the people of the underworld hated Lin Feng to the bone. You are really from the underworld. Lin Feng looked at the Minotaur in shock. Return my Bell of Hades. The Minotaur's voice was cold. A dense killing intent flashed in his eyes. He looked at Lin Feng coldly. He rushed towards Lin Feng and grabbed the Bell of Hades. He wanted to snatch the Bell of Hades away. Lin Feng used all his strength to activate the Bell of Hades to deal with the Minotaur. Whoosh! At this moment, the Minotaur shot out a dazzling light beam. The power of that beam of light was extremely tyrannical. It was as if it could pierce through the void. Its power was boundless. Poochie! With a tearing sound, the light beam pierced through the Minotaur's palm. Blood immediately flowed out. Ah! The Minotaur let out an incomparably mournful cry. With his powerful cultivation, the injury on his palm was only a minor injury. However, the injuries caused by the Bell of Hell King to these underworld creatures, even if it was a minor injury, they would still be able to withstand it. It would also cause great damage to these underworld creatures. Just like at this moment, the bull-headed monster was severely injured and its body was sent flying. Its expression was extremely gloomy, and its eyes flickered with dense killing intent. Damn it! Damn it! The Minotaur roared angrily. Lin Feng, on the other hand, was overjoyed. He continued to urge the Hell King's bell to launch an even more powerful attack on the Minotaur. The Minotaur knew how much damage the Bell of Pluto could inflict on him, so it didn't want to continue fighting with Lin Feng. It said coldly, "Kid, you stole the treasure of the underworld. You will die a horrible death. Anyone who offends the underworld will not have a good ending. As the saying goes, if the King of Hell wants you to die at midnight, he will not let you live until dawn." The King of Hell represented the underworld. Offending the underworld was indeed an extremely dangerous thing. Moreover, The underworld controlled the passage from the underworld to the Yang realm. They could send powerful underworld creatures to deal with Lin Feng at any time. If it was anyone else who offended the underworld, they would be scared to death. However, Lin Feng wasn't afraid of the underworld. This was because the creatures of the underworld were creatures of the Yang realm. After coming to the Yang realm, these creatures were suppressed by the laws of the Yang realm and couldn't fight at all. Of course, the most important thing was that Lin Feng controlled a treasure like the Hell King's Bell, which could suppress the creatures of the underworld. Therefore, Lin Feng was even less afraid of the underworld. Now that the underworld is divided, the underworld can't even control the matters of the underworld. How can it control the matters of the Yang realm? What a joke. Moreover, I remember that the senior you call Lord scared everyone in the underworld away before he even reached the underworld. I followed that senior to rob the treasures of the underworld. So, you people of the underworld should pray for yourselves. Lin Feng said indifferently. Oomph. However, the Minotaur snorted coldly. What Lin Feng said was the truth, which made the Minotaur extremely angry and aggrieved. The Minotaur couldn't wait to kill Lin Feng immediately, but Lin Feng controlled the Hell King's Bell. Therefore, the Minotaur couldn't compete with Lin Feng for the time being. Therefore, it had no choice but to leave. The Minotaur's body gradually became illusory and soon disappeared without a trace. This guy is really a creature of the underworld. Duzu couldn't help but sigh. The methods of these creatures of the underworld are extremely strange. These guys are also extremely hateful. Lin Feng said. The three of them didn't stop and continued to walk deeper. After successfully crossing the 4th mountain range, the three of them arrived at the 5th mountain range. Then, they saw a mountain peak that was 10,000 meters tall in the 5th mountain range. Halfway up the mountain, there was a huge cave, and at the top of the cave, there was a huge golden snake coiled up. The giant golden snake was not a real giant snake, but a giant snake that had been carved into it. This should be the core of the forbidden area, Du Zhu said excitedly. Lin Feng nodded. The three of them quickly walked towards the cave. Suddenly, the golden snake's eyes flashed with a cold light. Then, the golden snake carved on the mountain came to life. Swish, 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 swish. They swept towards Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the heretic dominator sage. Those swish, 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 swish. Heavenly Mystery Pagoda. Swish. Lin Feng waved his hand. He quickly took out the Heavenly Mystery Pagoda to defend himself. Swish, 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 swish. The Heavenly Mystery Pagoda's defensive barrier started to crack. Seeing this, Lin Feng and the others were shocked. That was too unbelievable. It was truly terrifying. The Heavenly Mystery Pagoda's defense was so strong. Yet, it couldn't block the golden snake's attack. Let's go, shouted Lin Feng. He sped up and rushed towards the cave. The Heavenly Mystery Pagoda's defensive barrier only lasted 3 waves of attacks before it was completely destroyed. However, Lin Feng and the others had already rushed into the cave. Chapter 3087. Inside the cave, there was a winding path. The winding path was like the body of a dragon. The poison ancestor said, the beam attack from the giant golden snake's eyes is exactly the same as the attack from the beast emperor's eye we saw before. It seems that this method should be their clan's innate ability. Lin Feng said, that is indeed possible. This race is really powerful. Perhaps the golden snake will grow into a heaven-defying existence in the future. The three of them increased their speed and soon arrived at the first layer of stone room. The first layer of stone room was covered with restrictions. If they wanted to enter, they had to break the restrictions. After seeing the restrictions, Lin Feng felt a little depressed. They couldn't stay here for long, but it would take some time to break the restrictions. If the Beast Emperor came back while they were breaking the restrictions, wouldn't they be dead for sure? Evil Sovereign Saint, go guard outside. If you see anything wrong, inform us immediately. We will leave immediately. Lin Feng said. Yes, young master. After receiving Lin Feng's order, the evil sovereign saint quickly rushed outside. He stood guard at the entrance of the cave, observing the surroundings for any signs of movement. Lin Feng seized the time to break the restrictions. After spending a total of 8 hours, Lin Feng finally broke the restrictions. The restriction here was broken by someone before. That's why I was able to break it so quickly. If the restriction here hadn't been broken by someone before, it would have taken a lot longer to break the restriction here now. Lin Feng couldn't help but say. In reality, 8 hours wasn't a short time because 2 hours were equivalent to 2 hours. Therefore, 8 hours was equivalent to 8 hours. Many unexpected things could happen in such a long time. Fortunately, the terrifying beast emperor didn't come. Hee, young master is too humble. Young master's attainments and formations are unparalleled in the world. No one has been able to break the restrictions here before. Young master will definitely be able to break the restrictions quickly, Du Zhu said with a grin. Bootlicker. Lin Feng couldn't help but twitch his mouth. He and Du Zhu pushed open the stone door and quickly entered. Inside the first stone room, demonic energy surged. There was actually a huge purple flower growing in the room. The huge purple flower had a diameter of about 5 meters. It was unknown what kind of flower it was, but it grew so big. It's the violet godflower. It's a spiritual root of heaven and earth. It's extremely rare. I've heard of it before, but this is the first time I've seen it, Du Zhu said in shock. This is the violet godflower? Lin Feng was extremely shocked. He suddenly recalled the violet godflower in the classic of Mountain and Sea. It gathered the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, swallowed the essence of the sun and moon, took root in the void, and was born within the purple light. The petals could give birth to spirits. Pollen could create all living things and possessed endless vitality. It was a violet godflower was a treasure. If such a treasure were to give birth to a living creature, it would be the legendary Holy Spirit. For example, Little Fairy was born from the azure lotus. She was born from the azure lotus and was filled with boundless immortal energy. However, Lin Feng hadn't seen Little Fairy for a while. He didn't know where she went. It hasn't given birth to a violet godflower, but the pollen is very precious. It's enough to shock the world, Du Zhu said excitedly. The most important thing for a treasure of this level was the pollen. The pollen contained boundless vitality. It was said that the pollen played an extremely important role in giving birth to a violet godflower. Whether a violet godflower could give birth to a violet godflower had a lot to do with the pollen. Now that the violet godflower's petals were slightly open, one could vaguely see the pollen inside. That expert didn't take such a treasure when he came in? Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter. Perhaps the expert took something more precious and couldn't take the violet godflower in time. He had already been discovered. Thus, he had no choice but to retreat. Of course, there was also another possibility. The expert came here with a very strong purpose. He only took what he needed and didn't touch anything else. There were many such people in the world of cultivators. Lin Feng didn't care about what the expert had taken. His thoughts were now on the violet godflower. Lin Feng planned to dig the violet godflower out. However, he realized that he couldn't dig it out at all. There were powerful restrictions protecting the violet godflower. Even if he broke the restrictions, he couldn't take it away. This was because Lin Feng felt a destructive power from the restrictions. If the restriction was broken, it would be too late. At that time, the restrictions would directly destroy the violet godflower. Damn it! You'd rather destroy such a treasure than let others take it. How ruthless! Lin Feng couldn't help but curse under his breath. Then, he pointed at the violet godflower. He pointed at the violet godflower. The petals of the violet godflower slowly opened. The violet godflower usually didn't bloom because it was giving birth to pollen. However, if the violet godflower bloomed, pollen would fly out from it. Now that the violet godflower had bloomed, Lin Feng hurriedly took out a porcelain vase and collected the violet godflower's pollen. When all of the pollen had floated out, the petals of the violet godflower closed again. Lin Feng collected the vase containing the violet godflower's pollen. Then, he and Du Zhu continued to search for other treasures in the first layer of stone room. However, they found nothing. Then, Lin Feng looked at the stone door of the second layer of stone room. When he came to the side of the stone door, he instantly felt a terrifying aura emanating from it. That aura was too terrifying. It was suffocating. If he got too close, he might even be killed. Quickly, retreat, Lin Feng said in a low voice. He and Duzu quickly retreated more than 10 meters. Only then did the terrifying aura disappear. Duzu said in shock, "This stone door is so scary." Lin Feng said, "It's not the stone door that's scary. It's the restrictions on the stone door that's scary." He frowned and said, "Let's go. The pollen is enough. The things inside aren't something we can pry into." Lin Feng knew his own limits. If there was hope, he could take a gamble. However, it was obvious that it would be very difficult for them to obtain the things inside the second stone door. The second stone door was too terrifying. There was no way to open it. Moreover, Lin Feng had never been a greedy person. The violet godflower's pollen was precious enough. If they only obtained the violet godflower's pollen, it would be a worthwhile trip. All right. Duzu nodded and quickly left the first stone room with Lin Feng. Chapter 3088. When the three of them rushed out of the cave, the giant golden snake came back to life and continued to attack Lin Feng and the other two. The three of them quickly escaped far away. They dodged the giant golden snake's attack, and the giant golden snake did not chase after them. Seeing Lin Feng and the other two walk out of the forbidden area, the little golden snake had an extremely depressed expression. Of course, this fellow hoped that Lin Feng and the other two would die in the forbidden area. But dreams were beautiful. Reality was cruel. Not only did Lin Feng and the other two come out safe and sound, and they also obtained the pollen of the purple godflower. The little golden snake's disappointed expression disappeared in a flash and quickly returned to normal. He did not want Lin Feng to see his inner thoughts. If Lin Feng guessed his thoughts, he was worried that Lin Feng would destroy him. The few of them quickly left and found a quiet place. The pollen of the purple godflower was extraordinary and could help a cultivator complete a transformation. It was said that the most precious part of the purple godflower's pollen was that it could help a cultivator complete a transformation of life level. What was a transformation of life level? For example, transforming from a sky god to a giant god was a transformation of life level. Transforming from a giant god to a boundary emperor was also a transformation of life level. Transforming from a boundary emperor to a great emperor was also a transformation of life level. Duzu and the evil dominator saint were both facing a transformation of life level, because the two of them could break through to the great emperor realm at any time, but they needed an opportunity. Now, the purple godflower might be their opportunity. Lin Feng divided the purple godflower into 3 parts, one for him, one for Duzu, and the other for the evil dominator saint. If Duzu and the evil dominator saint could break through to the great emperor realm, it would be a great help to Lin Feng. Duzu and the evil dominator saint were loyal to Lin Feng. They were Lin Feng's 2 most valued subordinates. Once they broke through to the great emperor realm, they would be able to share Lin Feng's burden. Therefore, Lin Feng looked forward to the 2 of them breaking through. "Where's mine?" The little golden snake also came over and stared at the porcelain bottle containing the purple godflower's pollen. "Scram as far as you can." Lin Feng curled his lips and said, "Those are the treasures of my clan. Since you've stolen our clan's treasures, you should at least give me a share, right?" "I'm just borrowing it. I'll return it later." Lin Feng curled his lips and said. The little golden snake immediately rolled its eyes. Naturally, it did not believe that Lin Feng would say such words in the future. But now, it couldn't do anything to Lin Feng. Even though he was gnashing his teeth in hatred, he could only endure it. "You're a prisoner now. Don't covet everything you see. Do you believe that I'll slaughter you and make you into a pot of snake soup?" Duzu glared at the little golden snake. "I'll endure it. I'll endure it. I'll endure it." The little golden snake tried its best to control its emotions. It cursed inwardly, "Just wait until this crown prince escapes. See how this crown prince will deal with you all." Lin Feng and the other 2 ignored the little golden snake. They were preparing to refine the purple godflower's pollen. Lin Feng still had a long way to go before he could break through to the great emperor realm. However, he could still refine the purple godflower's pollen. The purple godflower's pollen could help him break through. Before entering seclusion, Lin Feng grabbed the little golden snake. "Let me go! Let me go!" The little golden snake roared furiously. Lin Feng ignored the little golden snake's resistance and threw it into the ferocious cauldron. Then, he suppressed the little golden snake. The reason he suppressed the little golden snake was because of its craftiness. Lin Feng was worried that the little golden snake would do something unfavorable to them while the three of them were in seclusion. After suppressing the little golden snake, the three of them entered seclusion. Lin Feng took out the pollen and absorbed it into his body. Instantly, Lin Feng's body produced a very strange feeling. He felt as if his body was about to float. In that instant, Lin Feng felt that he had disappeared from the cave and arrived in a world of flowers. This place was so beautiful. There was a woman standing in the world of flowers. She was dressed in white and her figure was so alluring. However, her back was facing Lin Feng. Therefore, Lin Feng couldn't see what this woman looked like. "Beauty, turn around and let this young master take a look," Lin Feng shouted. The woman couldn't hear his voice. Because Lin Feng didn't belong to this world. Lin Feng really wanted to see what that woman looked like. Such an alluring figure. If she had a beautiful face, she would truly be a stunner. Finally, the woman gradually turned around. Lin Feng saw a side profile that was so beautiful that it could make one suffocate. So beautiful. Lin Feng couldn't help but sigh. This woman should only exist in the heavens. How many times could one see her in the human world? Lin Feng was looking forward to this beautiful woman turning around completely so that he could properly appreciate this woman's peerless appearance. But at this moment, this woman was like a beautiful butterfly among the flowers, flying into the distance. "Don't go. I really want to have a romantic relationship with you. Take off your clothes and treat me honestly," Lin Feng shouted and chased after her. After hearing Lin Feng's words, the woman seemed to be angered and casually swept her hand. A powerful force swept Lin Feng's body and directly sent Lin Feng flying. Ouch! Lin Feng couldn't help but cry out in pain. He recovered from that wondrous state. Flower fairy. Lin Feng was shocked. Just now, after inhaling the pollen, he vaguely saw a flower fairy. What a powerful energy! Soon, Lin Feng was shocked. This was because he realized that a large amount of energy had accumulated in his body. This energy was extremely vast and majestic, like a vast ocean. Lin Feng hurriedly absorbed the energy in his body. This energy was released after the pollen was decomposed. After refining this powerful energy, Lin Feng's cultivation increased by a total of 3 stone steps. In the end, Lin Feng's cultivation stopped at the 53rd stone step. At this moment, Du Zhu and the heretic sovereign saint were still in seclusion. The tribulation light between their eyebrows was getting stronger and stronger. Lin Feng quickly walked out of seclusion and saw that the sky was covered with dark clouds, lightning, and thunder. Clearly, Du Zhu and the heretic sovereign saint had begun to attract their own lightning tribulations. One day later, Du Zhu and the heretic sovereign saint came out of seclusion one after another. Then, they rushed up to the sky and began to undergo the great emperor tribulation. The two of them had accumulated a lot of energy. Moreover, it was equivalent to gaining a second life. They had comprehended many of the true meanings of life. The great emperor tribulation was extremely terrifying. However, Du Zhu and the heretic sovereign saint didn't disappoint. Chapter 3089. Lin Feng was very happy that Du Zhu and the heretic Lord Holy had both broken through to the emperor stage. Both of them were Lin Feng's right-hand men. For Lin Feng, breaking through to the next cultivation level was extremely important. After breaking through, the three of them quickly left the forest. Such a large commotion would definitely attract many powerful beings. As such, they couldn't stay here for too long. Hee, the Emperor stage is indeed the Emperor stage. As expected, sub-emperors can't compare to them. Du Zhu was extremely excited after breaking through. In the past, Du Zhu had once cultivated to the pinnacle of the sub-emperor stage. He was only one step away from breaking through to the emperor stage, but he was eventually suppressed. Furthermore, Du Zhu's physical body was destroyed, and his consciousness was almost destroyed. However, his body was quite special. His soul had fused with the lethal poison, and as a result, his soul remained intact. This was until Lin Feng released it. After experiencing life and death, Du Zhu's understanding of life, divine abilities, and the heavenly Tao was not something that ordinary people could compare to. The heretic Lord Holy was in a similar situation as Du Zhu. After being reborn, they finally broke through to the Emperor's stage. "Let's go to the Swamp of Despair," Lin Feng said. Along the way, he released the little golden snake that had been suppressed. Then, Lin Feng ordered the little golden snake to expand. The little golden snake's body quickly expanded. Then, Lin Feng and the others sat on the little golden snake's back. The little golden snake charged toward the Swamp of Despair like a bolt of lightning. The beast tide was gradually receding. More and more cultivators surged into Lulan Island, searching for the treasures on the island. They weren't the first group of cultivators to enter Lulan Island. Many groups of cultivators had entered Lulan Island before this. In particular, Feng Yarao's father, the heavenly wind god, had been searching for Lulan Island a long time ago. One had to realize that at that time, no one knew anything about Lulan Island. Lin Feng also only learned about Lulan Island at that time. Lin Feng was beginning to suspect that the appearance of Lulan Island had something to do with the heavenly wind god. Of course, he knew that this suspicion was baseless, so all of this was just a suspicion for now. Perhaps he would only learn about all of this after meeting the heavenly wind god in the future. The Swamp of Despair was an extremely dangerous place. When the little golden snake arrived at the Swamp of Despair, its expression was extremely ugly. "What's in the Swamp of Despair?" Lin Feng could not help but ask. "This is a truly terrifying place. Father warned me not to enter the Swamp of Despair, but he didn't tell me what was inside." The little golden snake said. "Looks like some people really want to become snake soup," Lin Feng said flatly. The little golden snake was definitely not telling the truth. That was because Lin Feng could sense some of the changes in his emotions. Many of his words could not be trusted. "I'm telling the truth," the little golden snake said. "Take him down and behead him," Lin Feng said. "Hee, there's no need to go through so much trouble. I can kill this dishonest guy with a single palm." Du Zhu chuckled. The little golden snake hurriedly said, "Don't be impulsive. Impulsiveness is the devil. Now that I think about it, Imperial Father told me some secrets." "Oh? Secrets? Are they related to the Swamp of Despair?" Lin Feng asked curiously. The little golden snake hurriedly nodded. "That's right, they're related to the Swamp of Despair. The Swamp of Despair is no ordinary place. It contains a huge secret. It's said that there's a demonic valley of despair in the depths of the Swamp of Despair. Within the demonic valley of despair lies an unimaginably terrifying being." "Who is this being?" Lin Feng asked in shock. "It's said that this being survived the primordial war. From this, we can see just how terrifying a holy spirit is," the little golden snake said. Lin Feng, Du Zhu, and the heretic holiness were all shocked. The cultivators of the primordial era were divided into many types. For example, the first type was born in the primordial era. Cultivators who rose to power after the primordial era and lived until now were naturally incomparably powerful. The second type was already extremely powerful during the primordial era and lived until now, becoming even more powerful. The third type was cultivators who rose to power during the primordial era and participated in the bitter war at the end of the primordial era. This type of cultivator was the most terrifying cultivator of the primordial era. However, this type of cultivator was extremely rare. Perhaps it would be difficult to find too many of them in the myriad of worlds. The fact that there was such an existence in the Swamp of Despair was truly inconceivable. At this time, the little golden snake continued. "This terrifying being hides many shocking secrets. Even my father doesn't dare to provoke this being. The Swamp of Despair is where he hibernates. A place like this naturally contains endless dangers. The slightest carelessness can lead to death. Of course, the most terrifying danger comes from this ancient and terrifying being. He wakes up from time to time, and every time he wakes up, he'll definitely cause a disaster. Has your father seen this being before? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. He felt that the little golden snake's father might have seen this terrifying being before. I've seen it in the past, but I only saw it from afar. I didn't dare to get close, the little golden snake said. Lin Feng asked a few more questions, but he couldn't get too much information about this terrifying being from the little golden snake, because the little golden snake's knowledge was limited. Moreover, what it knew was only occasionally mentioned by its father back in the day. Lin Feng said, "No matter what, we have to pass through the swamp of despair. Moreover, that sleeping terrifying being might not necessarily wake up at this time." They entered the swamp of despair. Along the way, many people entered the swamp of despair. Most of them were cultivators from the myriad races, foreign races, and other foreign powers. This was because there were more experts from these three powers. The experts from the 9 prefectures couldn't be compared to the experts from these three powers. Therefore, whenever a great opportunity appeared, among the cultivators who came to search for these opportunities, the proportion of cultivators from the 9 prefectures was very small. Boom! A terrifying aura filled the air, emitting a suffocating fluctuation that shook the void and surged in all directions. A powerful beast rushed out from the depths of the swamp. It was a very strange beast. It looked like a crocodile, but its head was like a shark. This beast was extremely terrifying. However, there were many experts who entered the swamp of despair. Chapter 3090. That's a shark crocodile. An extremely terrifying beast. Most importantly, this shark crocodile is a social creature. Now that one shark crocodile is dead, there will definitely be more. Let's leave quickly. If we don't leave now, I'm afraid we won't be able to leave. The little golden snake said with a frightened expression. Only those who had seen the shark crocodile's methods knew how powerful it was. The little golden snake had seen the shark crocodile in action before. It was truly shocking. Then let's leave this place quickly, Lin Feng said in a deep voice. He increased his speed and rushed into the depths. Not long later, a terrifying aura came from behind. Huge shark crocodile crawled out from the swamp. The densely packed shark crocodile gathered together. There were over 1,000 shark crocodile in total. The shark crocodile's body was huge, and its combat strength was terrifying. These shark crocodile had bone spikes growing out from their backs. The shark crocodile that crawled out from the swamp roared loudly. Swish, swish, swish. With a flash of light, the bone spikes on the shark crocodile's back all flew out. Those bone spikes were like flying swords. A light strike, as though it could shatter heaven and earth. The power was extremely strong. It was truly unimaginable. The densely packed bone spikes gathered together and instantly turned into a sea of swords. The bone spikes that covered the sky and covered the earth stabbed towards the cultivators that passed by. Shark crocodile soared back. All living beings avoid. The little golden snake said. Puff, puff, puff. Ripping sounds could be heard one after another. One cultivator after another was pierced by the bone spikes that flew out from the shark crocodile's back, dying tragically on the spot. The attacks of the shark crocodile group were simply too powerful. A large number of cultivators died. It was truly tragic. Lin Feng and the rest did not stay and quickly flew into the depths. Not long after, a shocking piece of news spread out from the swamp of despair. It was said that someone had discovered the Emperor Archaic Egg. Other than the Emperor Archaic Egg, there were more than 10 immortal phoenix grass. This immortal phoenix grass was very special. It was one of the materials used to cultivate the Emperor Archaic Egg. It could help the Emperor Archaic Egg to quickly hatch into an Emperor Archaic. This news caused a huge uproar when it spread. This was because the Emperor Archaic was simply too terrifying. He was one of the most powerful beings of the immemorial era. His wings shook slightly. He could tear apart the heavens and earth and kill great emperors. An item like the Emperor Archaic Egg would definitely tempt anyone. Now that an Emperor Archaic Egg had appeared in the swamp of despair, it was truly earth-shattering news. After hearing this news, Lin Feng was extremely shocked. He had an Emperor Archaic egg with him. Who would have thought that there would be 3 Emperor Archaic eggs in the Swamp of Despair? A creature like the Emperor Archaic was too rare. If he could cultivate a few more Emperor Archaic, it would be a great thing. When the time came, he would bring a few Emperor Archaic out with him. It would be like slaying gods and slaying Buddhas. Demons, evil spirits, demons, and monsters flapped their wings. All of them were killed. Of course, apart from the Emperor Archaic egg, the immortal phoenix grass was also a natural treasure that Lin Feng coveted. The primordial Emperor butterfly egg in his possession could only be nurtured with special treasures of heaven and earth. It just so happened that the immortal phoenix grass could be used to cultivate the Emperor Archaic egg. If he could obtain the immortal phoenix grass, perhaps the Emperor Archaic egg in his possession could be hatched. Thinking of this, Lin Feng couldn't help but feel excited. If he could really hatch the Emperor Archaic egg, it would be too heaven-defying. Many cultivators flew towards the location of the Emperor Archaic egg. It was said that the place was very dangerous. Not only were there powerful, vicious beasts guarding the Emperor Archaic egg, but there was also the immortal phoenix grass. Moreover, there were extremely powerful restriction arrays around the primordial royal butterfly egg and immortal phoenix grass. If one were to touch those restriction arrays, then only death would await them. However, this still couldn't stop everyone's enthusiasm. There was always a way out. When the boat reached the bridge, it would cross the bridge. Once they reached that place, perhaps there would be a way to solve these problems. Lin Feng and the others quickly flew towards that place. The location of the Emperor Archaic egg was called the Black Demon Territory. It was an extremely dangerous place. The place emitted a terrifying aura. Black mist lingered around it. Moreover, there were large numbers of black demon beasts living there. The black demon beasts here were different from the black demon beasts outside. The black demon beasts here were all mutated black demon beasts. They had wings on their backs and scorpion-like tails. At the end of their tails, there was a barb. The barb had a blue luster and was clearly poisonous. By the time Lin Feng and the others arrived, a large number of cultivators were already fighting the black demon beasts. The black demon beast horde was very large. Under normal circumstances, no one would be willing to provoke such a terrifying creature. However, the Emperor Archaic egg was simply too attractive. It was enough to make countless people risk their lives. Thus, more and more cultivators came to this place. There were even great emperors. The battle was extremely bitter. Large numbers of black demon beasts were killed. However, many cultivators were also killed by the black demon beasts. Blood flowed like a river. Corpses were everywhere. This was the cruelty of the cultivation world. In the cultivation world, there was killing and death everywhere. Such was the current situation. Too many ferocious beasts and cultivators had died in this battle. The black demon beasts were driven out. Then, a large number of cultivators rushed into the Black Demon territory. When they entered the Black Demon territory, they didn't find the Emperor Archaic egg or the immortal phoenix grass. "We've been tricked," someone said with a gloomy expression, guessing that they had been tricked. "Who set this up?" Then, someone roared angrily, his eyes filled with killing intent. His hatred was monstrous. This was because their companions had died in the previous battle. Rumble. Suddenly, a loud rumble resounded. Next, the surrounding formation runes intertwined and appeared, sealing off the area. "Who dares to trick us?" Many cultivators roared angrily. "We don't want to target everyone. We just set up a trap to lure one person here. If this trap wasn't real, how could someone as cunning as that kid fall for it?" A cold voice came from the void. "Who did you set up a trap to lure here?" Someone asked. "Lin Feng." The other party said. "What? Lin Feng is here as well?" Many cultivators were shocked. This was especially true for the cultivators from the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other external forces. Someone was targeting Lin Feng, wanting to kill Lin Feng. That was why they set up this trap. They suffered such great losses in order to lure Lin Feng here. Shua. Suddenly, a beam of light shone on Lin Feng's body. The next moment, Lin Feng disappeared without a trace. Chapter 3091. Swoosh. With a flash of light, Lin Feng appeared in another place. It was a quiet mountain forest. There was not even the slightest sound of wind rustling the grass. It was so quiet that it was almost eerie. The void was filled with densely intertwined runes. Every rune contained an incomparably powerful and terrifying power. These runes had originally existed in the mountain forest, but they were now being used by someone else. The person who did this was definitely an expert who had mastered countless wondrous techniques. In order to scheme against Lin Feng, the other party could be said to have schemed for a long time. They had spent so much to deal with Lin Feng because they wanted to kill Lin Feng. Lin Feng had already guessed the other party's background. The myriad races, the outer realm races, and the cultivators from other powers. Apart from the cultivators from these three powers, who else would be so scheming to deal with him? Come out. There's no need to hide anymore. Lin Feng said with an indifferent expression. Ha 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 ha, Lin Feng, you're about to die today. Do you have any last words before you die? At that moment, an ugly creature with a human head and a bat body appeared. You think you can kill me with just a monster like you? Lin Feng could not help but mock. It was a cultivator from the myriad races Bloodbat clan. Lin Feng had seen cultivators from this clan before, but he did not have much interaction with them. This was his first time dealing with a cultivator from this clan. This clan was very terrifying and had great combat strength. Of course, the most important thing was that this clan's sacred spirit was extremely ugly and evil. The creature's pair of cold eyes flashed with a sinister light. When the Bloodbat clan's cultivator heard Lin Feng's contempt and disdain for him, his expression immediately turned gloomy. He said coldly, "When you fall into my hands later, I'm looking forward to seeing how you beg for mercy. Lin Feng, we meet again." At that moment, a faint laugh suddenly came from the void. Following that, a young man stepped out of the void. This young master was incomparably handsome, and his cultivation was unfathomable. He was wearing a starry robe and looked very handsome. His smile was very gentle. However, in Lin Feng's eyes, there was a hint of awe in his smile. After seeing this young master, Lin Feng couldn't help but raise his eyebrows slightly. This person was none other than Xing Yuqian of the Star Moon clan. Lin Feng had seen this person a few times before, but he didn't have any grudges with Xing Yuqian. Now that Xing Yuqian was also involved in the operation to kill him, it was naturally because it involved a lot of benefits. Lin Feng's magic treasures, divine abilities, all kinds of heavenly materials and earthly treasures, all kinds of cultivation resources, and so on. These were all things that could drive people crazy. These things were enough to make many people want to kill Lin Feng. Therefore, when he knew that someone was planning to kill Lin Feng, Xing Yuqian didn't hesitate to participate. He wanted to be a part of it. When Lin Feng was killed, a part of everything that originally belonged to Lin Feng would definitely belong to him. Who else is there? Come out together. Today, I want to see who wants to kill me. Lin Feng said with an indifferent expression. Lin Feng, you should have died long ago. Letting you die today is letting you off too easily. Lin Feng, even if you die 1,000 or 10,000 times, it won't be enough to regret your death. Ha 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 ha, after killing you, there will be no more geniuses in the 9 states. The fall of the 9 states will begin with your death. You are destined to live to see the fall of the 9 states. Laughter came out one after another. There were a total of 17 powerful existences. Each of them was exceptionally terrifying. These people were basically cultivators from the myriad races, the extraterritorial races, and other foreign forces. However, among these people, there were also cultivators from the human race. Lin Feng had seen this human cultivator before. It was Su Qianzong of the Geomaster lineage. This person was an amazing figure, one of the rising stars of the Geomaster lineage. Su Qianzong was the most talented person, and he was also the one who was most favored. Su Qianzong had mastered many powerful divine abilities, and his attainments and formations were extremely profound. In the Emperor battle, the ancestor of the Geomaster lineage was killed. The Geomaster lineage was furious. Su Qianzong's killing intent towards Lin Feng was naturally monstrous. Of course, what interested Su Qianzong the most was Lin Feng's inheritance of the Heavenly Master lineage. Su Qianzong was a cultivation maniac, and he was extremely obsessed with studying all kinds of formations. Therefore, his attainments and formations had reached a transcendent level. The inheritance of the Geomaster lineage could no longer satisfy Su Qianzong. Su Qianzong needed a more powerful inheritance. Lin Feng gave him hope, because Lin Feng was the successor of the Heavenly Master lineage. Besides Su Qianzong, Lin Feng also liked Gongzong Nye. These were a few male cultivators that he knew. There were also a few female cultivators that Lin Feng knew. For example, the demonic woman that followed the son of the Heavenly Demon Emperor. Every time Lin Feng saw this demonic woman, he would feel a little stunned, because this demonic woman was simply too beautiful. With an enchanting figure and a beautiful face, she was really a stunner. In addition, Lin Feng also saw Yuling Xin. Like Xing Yuqian, she came from the Star Moon clan. However, they were not from the same clan. They came from the two great clans of the Star Moon clan, the Xing clan and the Yu clan. Fairy Yao Ji of the Heaven and Earth Great World also came here. She was like a fairy that fell from the 9 heavens to the mortal world. She was so beautiful and otherworldly. Now, she also wanted to kill Lin Feng. Besides these 3 peerless beauties, there was another woman. It was unknown what clan she was from, but she wore a black tight suit. It completely accentuated her graceful figure. It was so beautiful that it was suffocating. That peerless beauty was charming and flirtatious. When she saw Lin Feng looking at her, she even winked at Lin Feng. If one didn't know the specific situation, they would think that the peerless beauty was Lin Feng's old lover. In fact, both sides were at daggers drawn and a life-and-death battle could break out at any time. What a big deal. In order to kill me, they actually sent a total of 17 top experts. Lin Feng looked at the 17 experts with an indifferent expression. Any one of these 17 people was the kind of person who had great luck and great opportunities. Any one of them was the kind of genius who could challenge people of a higher realm. Usually, it was too difficult to see such a group of geniuses. But now, in order to kill Lin Feng, these 17 top geniuses didn't hesitate to join forces. Although you and I are enemies, I have to admit that it won't be easy to kill you. Naturally, we have to be fully prepared. The ancient god clan's genius, Shen Daoqiang, said indifferently. This lad has many tricks up his sleeve. We should end this quickly. Gong Zongnye said sinisterly. He began to circulate his magic power, preparing to kill Lin Feng. The others also began to circulate their magic power, condensing all kinds of powerful abilities. Chapter 3092. With so many experts joining forces, their attacks formed a torrent of attacks that headed straight for Lin Feng. They were already prepared. Furthermore, it was a flawless preparation. 17 experts joined forces. These people were extremely confident in themselves because they were indeed very powerful and had the strength to deal with Lin Feng. Facing the siege of 17 top experts, Lin Feng's expression could not help but turn serious. These 17 cultivators were not to be underestimated. Their combat strength was unusually strong. Now, Lin Feng did not dare to be careless. He waved his hand. Swoosh! With a flash of light, the Heavenly Mystery Pagoda flew out. Then, the Heavenly Mystery Pagoda released a dazzling light beam. After the light beam from the Heavenly Mystery Pagoda descended, it formed a powerful defensive light shield. The attacks from the 17 experts were instantly neutralized by the light shield formed by the Heavenly Mystery Pagoda. An Emperor-level defensive Dharma treasure was extremely powerful. It could easily block any cultivator's divine ability attack. Of course, this was only possible within a short period of time. If the battle continued for a long time. If the battle continued, the Heavenly Mystery Pagoda's defensive system would also be destroyed by these people. Therefore, Lin Feng had to seize the time to kill these cultivators. Perhaps he could find a way to break out of the encirclement. No matter how strong his combat strength was, it would be difficult for him to withstand the siege of 17 cultivators. Lin Feng tried to kill a few of them. However, it was difficult for him to do so because there were simply too many of them. They could use powerful attacks to deal with Lin Feng at any time. Therefore, Lin Feng was now in trouble. Ha 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 ha, Lin Feng. It seems like you're going to die today. One of the Sky Prides could not help but laugh out loud. After today, you'll be completely removed from the list. Then, another Sky Pride laughed coldly with murderous intent. They continued to prepare powerful divine abilities to attack Lin Feng. If it was a battle of attrition, Lin Feng would naturally not be able to win against 17 of them. These 17 experts were holding back. Obviously, they wanted to slowly wear Lin Feng down. This was the best way. That way, they wouldn't suffer any casualties. If they were pushed too far, once a fierce battle broke out, even if they managed to kill Lin Feng, a few of them might be dragged down by Lin Feng. These cultivators didn't want that to happen. Therefore, they wanted to continuously consume Lin Feng's Li. When Lin Feng's mana was almost depleted, his combat strength was greatly reduced. At that time, they would swarm him, kill Lin Feng, die. A new round of attacks was formed by the dozen or so experts. Lin Feng was still using the Heavenly Profound Pagoda to block their attacks. When their attacks landed on the Heavenly Profound Pagoda, the Heavenly Profound Pagoda suddenly emitted cracking sounds. Cracks had appeared on the defensive barrier formed by the Heavenly Profound Pagoda. After seeing those cracks, the Heavenly Profound Pagoda's defensive barrier began to crack. Lin Feng's expression changed greatly. With so many cracks, the Heavenly Profound Pagoda might not be able to withstand the attacks of these 17 experts. This kid's defensive barrier is about to be destroyed. Once it's destroyed, he won't be far from being killed by us. That's right. Once we break his defensive barrier, with our strength, killing him will be as easy as killing a dog. These prodigies said one after another. They looked at Lin Feng as if they were looking at a dead man. Anyone in this situation would feel incomparably troublesome. Damn it. Should I use the 8-9 arcane art to kill them? Lin Feng's expression darkened. Waves of dense killing intent flashed across his heart. Using the 8-9 arcane art required a lot of courage. This was because the 8-9 arcane art caused too much damage to the body. Moreover, it consumed too much of one's lifespan. This was because there was a restriction to using the 8-9 arcane art. When one's cultivation was below 10 million years, using the 8-9 arcane art would immediately kill them. Only when one's cultivation exceeded 10 million years could they use the 8-9 arcane art. Right now, Lin Feng's lifespan was 80 million years. There was naturally no problem using the 8-9 arcane art. Lin Feng's 8-9 arcane art had already been cultivated to the 3rd level. This level of the 8-9 arcane art could increase one's battle strength by 8 times. The 17 cultivators in front of him were indeed terrifying. Lin Feng admitted this, and they were holding back. But wasn't he holding back as well? Lin Feng estimated that with his current strength, if he attacked with all his strength and then used the 8-9 arcane art, his battle strength would increase by 8 times. At that time, he might be able to kill all these people. However, at that time, he would still have 10 years of lifespan left. This was a lose-lose situation. Therefore, Lin Feng hesitated whether he should use the 8-9 arcane art to kill these guys. Among these people, there were many super powerful enemies. For example, Gong Xinye. This person hid very deeply. He was one of the most hidden young cultivators of the myriad races. Another example was Su Qianzong. This person's cultivation was powerful, and his attainments and formations were unfathomable. He was also an extremely terrifying existence. Among these 17 experts, many of them were heaven-defying existences. Their future achievements were limitless. Damn it, these people are courting death. Then I'll kill them. So what if I only have 10 years of lifespan left? I believe that within 10 years, I will definitely become an emperor. Lin Feng's eyes flashed with a ruthless gaze. The side effects of the 8-9 arcane art were very terrifying. 10 years of lifespan would disappear in the blink of an eye. Within these 10 years, no heavenly treasures or spirit pills that could increase one's lifespan would be able to increase it, unless one crossed a major realm within 10 years. Then, one would be able to break through the shackles of heaven and earth to extend their lifespan again. Now that the situation was critical, Lin Feng had already planned to use the 8-9 arcane art to kill these cultivators who had schemed against him. But at this moment, a terrifying aura was emitted from a huge valley in the distance. Then, endless black fog began to roll. The black fog quickly surged over, and there seemed to be some terrifying creature hibernating in the black fog. When he felt the terrifying aura emitted from the black fog, Lin Feng's heart trembled slightly. Could it be? Suddenly, Lin Feng thought of the ancient expert that the little golden snake had mentioned. The aura in the black fog was very ancient and incomparably terrifying. Lin Feng guessed that it was very likely that the ancient expert had awakened. Interesting, very interesting. I like to watch a show, but this battle of yours, 17 people besieging one person, isn't exciting enough. I want to see a more exciting battle. A cold voice came from the black fog. Not good, let's go. When the 17 experts besieging Lin Feng sensed the aura in the black fog, their expressions changed drastically and they turned to flee. Lin Feng also quickly fled into the distance, but everyone failed. The rolling black fog swept over. Everyone was swept into it. Then, Chapter 3093. The demonic fog churned, covering the sky and covering the sun. Its power was terrifying. Everyone struggled violently, trying to break free from the demonic fog. However, it was useless. No matter how hard they tried, they could not break free. This evil fog that engulfed the world was truly a bit too frightening, causing others to be shaken. Was it really that undying expert from the primordial era? If that was really the case, then they would be in big trouble. So many people were swept away by this terrifying existence into a valley filled with birds and fragrant flowers. The valley was originally beautiful, but in an instant, it became eerie. Everyone's face was gloomy. They no longer had the mood to continue fighting. Others might not know who it was, but Lin Feng had already guessed it. Therefore, his face turned even uglier. If it was really that existence who survived the primordial war, they were really finished. It would be easy for that existence to kill them. Is this the Devil's Valley of Despair? Lin Feng could not help but ask. The others looked at Lin Feng. They didn't know anything about this place. They hadn't thought that Lin Feng would know so much about it. They were astonished. You know quite a lot. That mysterious existence said with a sneer. In that case, you're the cultivator from the Valley of Despair who survived the primordial war? Lin Feng continued. What? You survived the primordial war? Many people couldn't help but be shocked. The war at the end of the primordial era was one of the most terrifying wars of this era. It was comparable to the war between sentient life forms. After the war, most of the sentient life forms had fallen. It was rare to see any sentient life forms walking around the world. After the war, most of the immortals had fallen. It was rare to see any immortals walking around the world. These were two important turning points after the start of the new era. Now, the one who appeared here was actually an existence who survived the primordial war. What was his cultivation level? These 17 heavens prides who had been scheming against Lin Feng all had ugly expressions on their faces. They had thought that their scheme against Lin Feng was flawless. However, such an unforeseen event had occurred, and even they had fallen into the trap. After such a long time, there are still people in the outside world who remember me. It's really not easy. The voice of this supreme being spoke faintly, as though it was filled with emotions and sadness. Even after a long time had passed, time had not been able to erase him. Living from the primordial era until now, his lifespan was truly too long. Swish! At that moment, beams of demonic light appeared in the depths of the valley. Then, a palace appeared faintly. Devil Palace of Despair. Everyone saw the name of the palace. The words Devil Palace of Despair were written with the blood of gods and devils, and they would never dry up. This palace should be the palace of that ancient expert. Since it was called the Demon Palace, it should be an expert of the demon path. How can you let us go? A sky pride asked. He felt that since this primeval existence hadn't made a move to kill them, he would definitely give them a chance to survive. It's simple. The 18 of you will fight. The one who survives will be able to leave this place. The expert from the immemorial era laughed sinisterly. Lin Feng's expression didn't change after hearing this. He had already guessed all the possible outcomes, so he wasn't surprised at all. As for the other 17 Sky Prides, their expressions changed drastically. They were originally allies, but now They were going to kill each other. In the end, only one of them could leave. This was truly too cruel. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The 17 Sky Prides, who were originally standing together, quickly separated. Now, everyone was feeling insecure. These 17 Sky Prides had originally formed a temporary alliance. Once they killed Lin Feng, this temporary alliance would then disband. Naturally, there wasn't much trust between these 17 Sky Prides. Let's do it. Let this seat watch an exciting battle. The ancient expert said sinisterly. His voice made everyone's hair stand on end. However, now that things had come to this, they no longer had any other choice. Let's kill Lin Feng first, then we'll fight it out. What do you think? One Sky Pride suggested. All right. The others nodded in agreement. Kill. The 17 Sky Prides shouted coldly and flew toward Lin Feng. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He took out the heavenly mystery pagoda to defend himself. Boom, boom, boom. All sorts of powerful attacks came at him, but they were all blocked by Lin Feng's heavenly mystery pagoda. Next, Lin Feng took out the heavenly drum, a supreme treasure. The moment the heavenly drum was taken out, the ancient expert exclaimed in surprise, as if he had recognized the heavenly drum in Lin Feng's hand. Dong, 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 Lin Feng began to beat the heavenly drum. A series of earth-shattering sounds rang out, shaking the clouds and reverberating in all directions. After the heavenly drum was beaten, heavenly soldiers and generals formed. The heavenly soldiers and generals quickly rushed toward the group of people surrounding him. Sensing the strength of the heavenly soldiers and generals, the cultivators' expressions changed slightly, and they quickly retreated. They seemed to want to waste a lot of time to kill Lin Feng, just like before. Whoosh! Lin Feng locked onto one of them and quickly attacked. The cultivator he had locked onto was the Bloodbat clan's cultivator. The others all started attacking Lin Feng one after another. Lin Feng ignored the attacks. He instantly activated the 1 Qi into 3 Pure Ones and the 9 layers of Haki to form a magnetic field. The 3 Lin Fengs surrounded the Bloodbat clan's cultivator. When the attacks of the other 16 experts arrived, Yizichen's eyes lit up. The Heavenly Mystery Pagoda's defense was instantly destroyed. During the previous battle, the Heavenly Mystery Pagoda's defense was almost destroyed. The Heavenly Mystery Pagoda needed some time to recover, so it was naturally difficult to hold on. The Heavenly Mystery Pagoda blocked most of the attacks. The remaining attacks were neutralized by Lin Feng's dermic immunity, which was recorded in the Great Immunity Technique. Go to hell. The 3 Lin Fengs attacked with all their might, and powerful attacks bombarded the Bloodbat clan's cultivator. Coupled with the suppression of the magnetic field, the Bloodbat clan's cultivator couldn't block Lin Feng's attacks at all. No, the Bloodbat clan's cultivator let out a terrified roar. Puff. In the next moment, his body was torn apart and he died on the spot. Chapter 3094. 1 Qi into 3 Pure Ones. Not bad. Not bad. This is a supreme divine ability passed down from Taoism. I didn't expect someone to know this divine ability. The immemorial era expert couldn't help but say, this kid has extraordinary means. Now, we should put down our grudges and kill him first. Gong Zhongye said. Lin Feng's combat strength had indeed made the others wary. Originally, they were still wary of each other, but now, many felt that they could let down their guard before killing Lin Feng. It wouldn't be too late for them to fight after killing Lin Feng. Then let's kill Lin Feng first, then settle our matters. Although one of us died, Lin Feng's Imperial Weapon defensive treasure has been destroyed. The 16 of us can easily kill him. Xin Daoqiong of the Ancient God Clan sneered. This person had an extremely high status in the Ancient God Clan. It was said that he was one of the 5 supreme prodigies of the younger generation. His status was even higher than Xin Daoyan's. Moreover, this person was extremely terrifying. Coupled with his powerful bloodline, his future was limitless. Now that he was trapped here, he was only thinking about how to get out. His rallying power was still very strong. His words made many people let down their guard, and they all surrounded Lin Feng. Great Sun Demonic Palm. Heaven and Earth Dragon Subduing Technique. 9 Revolution Stars Transformation, Immortal Dragon Technique, Immemorial Divine King Dao, and so on and so forth. All kinds of powerful divine abilities were displayed, and all of them were aimed at Lin Feng. There were a total of 16 divine abilities, and the cultivators who displayed these divine abilities were extremely powerful. Ordinary people couldn't contend with these terrifying existences at all. Although Lin Feng was strong enough, it was too difficult for him to fight against so many top prodigies alone. When those attacks came, the 16 experts looked at Lin Feng coldly as if they were looking at a dead man. Perhaps in their opinion, Lin Feng was dead for sure, and there was no way he could turn the situation around. It was no wonder that they had such thoughts. After all, the combined combat strength of these people was too terrifying. Heaven Mending Technique. When the attacks of the 16 experts were about to drown Lin Feng used the powerful Heaven Mending art. He wanted to borrow another chance from the heavens. This was the miraculous aspect of the Heaven Mending art. Lin Feng relied on the miraculous nature of the Heaven Mending art. When Lin Feng reappeared, he was already behind one of the myriad race's sky prides. This was a cultivator from the Sacred Demon Tribe. The Sacred Demon Tribe was one of the 10 great royal families of the myriad races. It was an extremely terrifying force. Back then, Lin Feng had killed the Sacred Demon Tribe's Sacred Demon Prince. However, this was something that happened many years ago. Since then, he didn't have any interactions with the Sacred Demon Tribe. Lin Feng and his 2 avatars struck out at the sky pride of the Sacred Demon Tribe. Not good. Although the Sacred Demon Race's prodigy did not see what was going on behind them. However, he could feel an unprecedented aura of death enveloping his entire body. The Sacred Demon Tribe genius wanted to escape through the void. However, he wasn't able to do so. This was because Lin Feng's 9 layers of domineering aura superimposed on the magnetic field. In addition, one of his avatars were too powerful. The Sacred Demon Tribe genius couldn't dodge at all. He wanted to turn around to counter Lin Feng's attack, but it was already too late. Bang! 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 3 consecutive punches. Lin Feng and his 2 avatars struck the Sacred Demon Tribe's Sacred Demon Prince's body. In an instant, the Sacred Demon Tribe's Sacred Demon Prince's body exploded. How is this possible? Many Sky Pride's expressions couldn't help but darken. Originally, they thought that they could definitely kill Lin Feng. However, they didn't expect such an outcome. Not only did they fail to kill Lin Feng together, but Lin Feng had also killed one of their experts. Although this kid's means are extraordinary, there must be a great limit to this kind of divine ability. It is very difficult to use this kind of divine ability continuously. Since he has already used that divine ability just now, he shouldn't be able to use it again in a short period of time. Now is a great opportunity for us to kill him. A Sky Pride from the Blood Star tribe said. Lin Feng raised his eyebrows slightly. This person's eyes were quite sharp. Lin Feng's current situation was indeed as this person had said. Although the heaven patching technique was extremely miraculous, it had a cooldown period. After using it once, it couldn't be used a second time within 3 days. Lin Feng also knew a great death substitution technique. Using this divine ability, he could avoid another calamity. At that time, he should be able to kill one more person. At that time, out of the 17 experts on the other side, there were still 14 left. He would then use the 8-9 arcane art to have a final battle with them. Lin Feng felt that with the 8-9 arcane art, he should be able to kill the remaining 14 experts. However, Lin Feng didn't know if the actual situation would be the same as what he expected. After all, people like Gong Ye, Fairy Yao Ji, and the others were all people who had hidden very deeply. Perhaps they also had some terrifying techniques that could increase their battle prowess. When the time came, he could use them to offset the increase in battle prowess brought by the 8-9 arcane art. However, regardless of whether the 8-9 arcane art could kill these people or not, Lin Feng had no other choice. Puff! Just as Lin Feng was thinking about how to deal with this situation, suddenly, Gong Ye silently appeared behind the Sky Pride of the Blood Star tribe. He suddenly attacked. His right hand pierced the Sky Pride's chest from behind. The Sky Pride of the Blood Star tribe turned around and looked at Gong Ye, who had appeared behind him. He wanted to say something, but in the end, he died without saying anything. What's going on? Lin Feng couldn't help but be shocked. He didn't understand why Gong Ye would suddenly attack the sky pride of the Blood Star tribe. Gong Ye, what are you doing? The others looked at Gong Ye with gloomy expressions. They quickly separated. The little bit of trust they had built up with great difficulty was now gone because of Gong Ye's sneak attack and killing of the sky pride of the Blood Star tribe. Everyone was on guard and suspicious of each other. Gong Ye sneered. He didn't care about the others' questions. Gong Ye had sucked the sky pride of the Blood Star tribe dry. Then, he quickly flew out of the valley. Gong Ye clearly wanted to break out of the encirclement. You don't know the difference between life and death. A cold voice suddenly sounded. Next, a huge palm suddenly condensed in the rolling demonic fog around the valley. That huge palm directly grabbed at young Master Nye. That palm was really too terrifying. It seemed to be able to grasp the world. No one would be able to successfully dodge that palm. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.